Yo,
we back.
You miss me? Did you miss me?
Did you miss me? We're back. We're back, people. We're back.
Yeah. So much going on, bro.
Man. So much going on in the sport of boxing, man.
Man. Shakur Stevenson is officially the most duck fighter in boxing. You know what I'm saying?
Got to get that label.
Man, bro, he is. He's the most duck goose fighter in the game, bro.
He got to get the label. He
champion that got to send out. He got to send out fights. He got to ask for fights. Like, you want to fight me? You want my belt? Nah, bro, I'm good, man. I don't want your belt, man. Hey, bro, I'm just saying I'm gonna be cool. Nah, bro, I'm straight, bro. I'll go fight somebody else, bro. I don't know, man. I'll go up in weight. I'll go down in weight.
That he got to chase down his own mandatory.
Facts.
That's diabolical.
He should get paid. He should get paid just for the strength of being duck. Like, if you duck him, you should just pay. You should just get paid for it.
Right.
At least he can make a living getting ducked.
How you got to chase down your mandatory? In what world do they do this in? The champion got to chase down the mandatory. Hey, man, I want to give you an opportunity. Nah, man. Running from success.
You got a whole interim title.
Right.
You got a whole interim title in my division, bro.
Right.
And you don't want to fight me, bro. Is Kevin giving you a hard time? Come on, bro.
Right.
I got bad hands, bro. I can't get a fight with bad hands. Come on, bro.
And the most diabolical part about it is they tried to make it look like he was a duck. Hey, we offered him a fight at for the Canelo undercard, and he turned it down. Bro, how you gonna try to make that man look like a duck? And then you escape. The whole reason why is you get bumped up to WBA.
What is that? And that's, once again, here's another shot at the corruption and the inconsistency with these sanctioning bodies and how this sport gets made a joke of. Because supposedly at one point in time, you weren't allowed to take knees in the fight. Supposedly at one point in time, if you had an interim title, you couldn't be ranked in the other sanctioning bodies, right? Supposedly a lot of stuff though, right? But at the end of the day, we see, and I got to give Teofimo his respect when he say that, these sanctioning bodies do what they want and there's no consistency. There legitimately is no consistency in the game, man. And it's flawed, and, something has to be done about it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And the fact that Turki is trying to do something about it, and he's getting pushback for trying to make right in the sport of boxing, trying to correct the wrong in the sport of boxing, and he getting the pushback. The sport of boxing is so backwards, right, Clay? You got a guy in Devin Haney that didn't test positive for nothing, but consistently gets labeled a drug cheat.
Yeah, bro. For taking a protein powder.
The guy he fought, Clay. The guy he fought tested positive for banned substance, and he's the victim.
Yeah, it was applied. It was Victor Conti. It was slipped in there. It's politics, and he popped. So Devin just got a little bit of muscle on him. Like, there it is. You see, I told you. Look at the muscles on him.
Right. Like Regis is talking about, see, he looked like a bodybuilder.
Yeah, it's crazy, man, how backwards the game is.
It's so diabolical, right, Clay? Like, you think about it, right? Turki is trying to make the sport right and give us the best fight and the best. That's an issue.
100%.
Devin Haney, they called him fat, out of shape. He looked too skinny. Now he shows you he's ripped up, and now he's cheating.
Right.
But ironically, the guy who actually cheated and tested positive, he's not celebrating
him. Y'all celebrate him. Not only is he not the cheater, but he's a victim. Not only is he not the cheater, but he's an actual victim.
He's a victim. How does this happen? Yeah. Only in boxing. This cannot happen in no other sport.
It's a fact.
Actually, it can, right, Clay? Because
what sport?
Baseball, right? Because I'm watching baseball today, and I don't know if you see what's going on with this whole new bats that the Yankees are using.
No, what's going on?
Okay, so there's this thing called the torpedo bat now, right? So about 3 days ago, Clay, the Yankees.
I heard
that's another thing I did. That's another thing I did for my birthday. I went to the Yankee game, the home opener.
Okay. So you saw that 24-point game was like, I heard the first 3 hits was home runs. Boop, boop,
right.
boop.
So now they changed the bats. The Yankees did, right? Well, at least people are saying it was the Yankees. It actually wasn't the Yankees. Multiple teams have done this last year. They just didn't have the success. But what they did was, so you know how the bat, when you holding the handle, is skinny.
Right.
Then it gets thicker as it goes up, right?
Right.
Pause. No diddy.
Pause.
Right? So what they did was they took the fat part of the bat, instead of stretching it out, they put it in majority of one place. So it kind of looked like a bowling pin a little bit.
Okay.
Right? And so they was smacking home runs. That's where that game came from. Right. Okay. But the thing about it is the real hitters aren't using it. Like Aaron Judge is not using it.
Right.
Otani is not using it. You know,
there's an option there. You don't have to use that one.
You don't have to use it.
Right.
It's just for specific players use, because obviously it changes the weight. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's not comfortable with it. But because the Yankees hit these home runs, all of a sudden, just like boxing, nobody did their research, and everybody said the Yankees are cheating. Right? The Yankees are cheaters. They're cheating. They got these torpedo bats, so on and so forth. Only to come to find out, multiple teams tried it last year, not the Yankees, and didn't have the success. Right. And then this year, multiple teams have used it as well. They just didn't have the success. But as soon as the Yankees start hitting home runs, now it became a problem. And on top of that, now the Cincinnati Reds, a guy he's a good player, all-star player, but not a great one. So yesterday, bro went insane. He used the bat yesterday, Clay. Hey, yo, Clay, they said he had 5 at-bats. He had 7 RBIs and 2 home runs or something wild like that. Jesus. Like he was going bananas, right? So now obviously everybody got a complaint, but they saying it's legal. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not an advantage. It's actually, it can be a disadvantage depending on the player. Right. If you're not strong enough, the weight of the bat is disproportionate. So, you know what I'm saying? If you swing the bat,
swing time and everything, just your ability to, to time it and hit the ball is going to be compromised.
Right. You know what I'm saying? King Brian said he had 3 home runs. Okay, so he had 5 at bats, 3 home runs, and 7 RBIs.
Crazy.
Bro went bananas last night. You know what I'm saying?
The torpedo bat, huh?
Yeah, they calling it the Google it, the torpedo
I'm
bat.
doing
it. It kind of looked like a bowling pin a little bit.
That's
right. Crazy. So everybody's like, oh man. So saying this to say, right, Clay? You know what I'm saying? It's in baseball, you pick and choose. See, the Yankees are the Devin Haneys of baseball, right? If you ain't a Yankee fan, everybody hates you. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the Devin Haney effect, right? If you don't like Devin Haney, you know what I'm saying? There is no in between typically. You know what I mean? So now you got the torpedo back. Salute to Lance Shepard in the super chat, dropping that cinco. Honest in the super chat, he said, "Blood Clay, what's good? Damn, can't no fans come to the fight in New York on May 2nd? That's crazy. Hashtag keep punching." Salute, Lance. So I'm glad you said that. I don't know if Clay heard this or not. So what I'm hearing about it is that I'm hearing that the city doesn't want the chaos. They want it to be as controlled as possible. And because Turki said that it's going to be free, right? How do you put a limit on it, right? So if you have 300 free fans at the first 300, first come, first serve, right?
Right.
What about the next 200 that comes after the 300 that get in, that shows up? Now they just standing around in Times Square.
Right.
Because they're going to put up a fuss. They're going to want to get in. They ain't going to leave. You know what I'm saying?
This is going to congest the city.
Right. And now what do you do with that crowd? You know what I mean? And that crowd is typically is going to be, you know what I'm saying, very, very upset, hostile. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because
rowdy.
Right, they're going to be rowdy because I can't get in. You know what I'm saying?
So what's the solution? So what's the solution to this?
So what I'm hearing is that it's only going to be media, celebrities, and invites only.
Right. I heard about that. Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. So so if you're not, you know what I'm saying, invited, or you're not, you know what I'm saying, you're not going to be allowed, to attend. You know what I mean? The problem is the announcement, you already know the date.
Right. So
You
people
already
showing up
know it's going to
anyway.
be outside. So it really doesn't matter because people are going to show up anyway.
Yeah, there's no avoiding the ultimate, the reality of the situation, Blue, is it's gonna be issues out there. It's gonna be a packed city no matter what. People are gonna try to find a way to become part of this event one way or the other. And the police and the city gonna have to deal with it. And and it's just gonna be what it is, man. There's no avoiding it to a degree. I mean, saying it really is no avoiding it, you know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah, because see, the thing is, it's already been announced. If they did it in somewhat like a surprise pop-up type of thing where people didn't know about it,
yeah,
and if you could have tried to pull something like that off, you know what I'm saying, or to where people was like, oh wait, that's Times Square, you know what I'm saying, like you didn't know it was going to be there, secret location type of thing, you know what I mean? But the fact is, there's no difference whether you want fans there or not. People going to show up because they know where it's at. It's outside. You can't tell people not to come to Times Square.
100%, bro.
They coming one way or another. They coming. You know what I'm saying? In hopes to get in.
It's gonna be mayhem down there, bro. Period. Ryan Garcia is in town. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That alone is gonna bring that crowd. It is what it is, man. You know what I mean? I won't be. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna be kind of dangerous to be in the city. To be honest with you, just to be walking around out there. To be honest with you, you know what I mean?
And it's Cinco de Mayo weekend.
Exactly. So the people gonna be down there already anyway. Anyway,
right.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to play out because, again, you can't tell people not to come.
Nah, you can't. You could tell them not to come, but they're gonna come.
They're gonna come anyway.
Right. It don't matter.
And now on top of that, you're gonna have tourists that's gonna be walking past like, oh wait, what is that?
Yeah.
How you gonna control them? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't.
Yeah.
It's gonna be chaos.
Yeah, it's gonna do what it do, man.
It's gonna be chaos. Hey, people, I need you to take a minute. Go subscribe to my brother Claymore Rain channel. The link is pinned up right there in the chat. Click the link and go subscribe to my brother Claymore Rain channel. The link to his channel is pinned up in the chat. Click the link and subscribe to my brother Claymore Rain. The link to his channel is pinned up right there in the chat. Click that link and subscribe to his channel. Yeah, Clay, you know what I'm saying? So, again, man, the sport of boxing is the Wild Wild West. It's unbelievable that now, like you were saying, I was listening to you earlier on your show and the brother Ray Davis. Band up, what's up, nephew? AK Crowder, what's up, family? The fact that, and this is my stance, right? In my opinion on this situation, right, Clay, is that I would feel offended. And as a fan, I feel offended with this situation with Turki, Al Haymon, and Bob Arum, right? Because it's equivalent to this, in my opinion, right, Clay? It's like you got a girlfriend, fiance, wife, whatever, right? And baby, can you cook? No. Baby, can you clean this? No. And baby, can you do? No. But now another woman is entertaining you. Oh, I'll cook for you. Or I'll clean for you. Now all of a sudden, no, I'll cook. I'll clean. I'll do this. Hold on. Now I'm going to feel offended. I don't want you to cook and clean for me. Now.
Right.
You're not doing it for me.
Yep.
You doing it because somebody's going to make you A, look bad.
Right.
B, possibly take me away from you.
Right.
Right. Or just you in competition with said person. But you ain't doing it for me. It's not genuine.
100%.
So which tells me as soon as this person is no longer in the picture, you will go right back to who you was. Not cooking, not cleaning, not doing anything I asked you to do. And so that's how I view this situation with Turki, Bob Arum, and Al Haymon. Because for 20 years, Clay, we've been asking them to work together to give us the best fight and the best. And for 20 years, they told us no.
Facts.
Now, we've been asking for Shakur versus Tank, Lomachenko versus Tank, right? So many top-ranked versus PBC fighters. We couldn't get it. They told us flat out no. And they had no reservations, Clay. They didn't care how we felt, nothing. Flat out, we don't work with them. It was pulling teeth to get Floyd and Pacquiao. Right? Pacquiao had to essentially become a free agent damn near to get the fight. Same thing with Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. Now, all of a sudden, I mean, for Floyd Mayweather, Leonard Ellaby, we don't work with them. They don't put fighters in the ring with. Since when? All these years. Now Turki comes in the picture, Clay. How long, Clay? We've been waiting to get Benavidez versus Bivol.
Oh, we gave up on it. We waited so long. We just thought it wasn't gonna happen and just accepted it. We moved on.
We moved on to the point where even remember Bivol and Benavidez moved on like,
yeah, it ain't gonna happen.
It ain't gonna happen.
Bivol was talking about going up. You know what I mean? Benavidez was probably entertaining retirement. He was about 40 years old. He was making
remember, he was talking about going up the cruiserweight too. Like
I
might go up the cruiserweight, become a 2-division champion.
Right.
Right. And now Turki comes in, Clay. We was on the verge of never getting Fury Usyk.
Mm-hmm.
Bivol Benavidez. Right. We couldn't get none of these fights. Now he comes in. He gives us these fights like this.
Right.
And keeps everybody active.
Right.
Wilder Joshua. We couldn't get that fight to save our life. The only reason we didn't get it now is because they didn't hold up their end of the bargain. They both lost.
Right. Wilder lost twice.
Wilder lost twice and Joshua got knocked out.
Right.
They both got knocked out. Zhang knocked out Wilder and the both knocked out Joshua.
Right.
And Turki even tried to, when Wilder lost, he like, all right.
Run it with Zelly.
Rectify yourself so we can make this Joshua fight. They dropped the ball.
Right.
Right? And so with that said, now, why are we getting the fight? Now he was going to give us that. For years, we couldn't get that fight.
Right.
Turki come in, here you go. We're going to make it happen. Devin Haney and Tank. What did Turki do? What's up, Boxing Guru? I'll send you the link in a second if you want to jump on. Turki comes in. Devin Haney, Tank. I put the money up. Tank said no. He didn't trust the situation.
Right.
They wasn't even having a conversation about it. Now they're like, all right, we're going to work together. To give us what? Lomachenko's hurt. Right? We don't even know if he ever going to box again.
Right.
He don't know if he ever going to box again. So he's injured, physically unable to perform like the NFL. Mm-hmm. That leaves only Keyshawn for him. Now they want to come together, and Bob Arum keep mentioning Tank. Well, we going to talk to PBC about Tank because they need that big splash. They need that big fight.
Well, they feel they're losing a grip on it, right? And you know what's funny to me, Blue, is that everybody talks so tough. Wow, what Turki and Aina and them doing ain't gonna do nothing, man. They don't even know how they're approaching it. They don't know nothing about boxing. You know what I'm saying? That pay structure they bring in, man. Please, I ain't even worried about them. They can never. Bro, if you weren't worried, you wouldn't be working with your op. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good though. You know what I'm saying? All the boxing fans in the space need to do one thing, and that's thank Turki, right? No matter how you want to paint it or how you want to move it, this is what you wanted. You wanted Top Rank and PBC to get on the same page. You wanted to see Eddie Hearn and Oscar De La Hoya working with each other. You wanted to see Frank War work with Eddie Hearn if you're from the UK. These things don't move. These needles don't move without Turki Al-Sheikh applying the pressure that he's been applying for the past 18 months to 2 years. So one way or the other. And another thing, I seen people posting up, oh, PBC and Bob Arum coming together to take down Turki. Brother, this is called prize fighting. As long as he's controlling that bankroll, he ain't going nowhere. Just stop. Just stop it. Just be motivated. Be happy that your promoter is finally doing something that has nothing to do with pleasing you, but it's competing with another dude. But at least you get to reap the benefits of it to finally see some good fights getting put together, because now they have to. They asses to the fire. It's been to the fire for months now. And now that Top Rank is getting closer and closer to doomsday, to the end of June, where ESPN and them are done with, they need to figure out exactly how they're going to approach this. So the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Bob Arum at 94, getting ready to be 94 years old, 95 years old, however old he is, you know what I'm saying? He's giving his last swing at it, you know what I'm saying, to try to do something. In his heart, he holds a little bit of contention for Turki, you know what I'm saying? So he's lined his goal up with Al Haymon. And now you guys are going to get to see some great fights. So we're about to see Stephen Fulton. Looks like he's about to go up and wait and fight O'Shaquie Foster. We're about to see Caleb Plant with Berlanga at some point, I guess. We're about to see a lot of fights. You know what I'm saying? We're about to see Sebastian Fundora and Xander Zayas. We're about to see some good fights. And you guys could thank, you know what I mean, Saudi Arabia for pushing these guys into position, which, Blue, I'm be honest with you, I knew it was going to happen. I knew that Top Ranking and PBC were going to come together at some point, because I knew that that's the only thing that was going to save American boxing from the jump. The only thing that was going to save American boxing is these promotional companies that erase these across the street business tactics and finally come together and make fights happen. Or yes, they were going to lose it all. So now you guys got hope. And as fans, you're welcome. I'm a fan. Thank you. Yep.
He came in again, like you said, Clay. Tay Brown, peace of blessings, Queen. Salute to everybody in the building. Like you said, Clay, he came in, his presence is felt.
That's it.
And Bob Arum, he admitted it. He said, yes, we got to come together to deal with Turki.
Period.
The problem is that I'm excited about it, right? The problem that I have, right, Clay, is the analogy I made earlier. If Turki decide to leave, are you going to go back to doing what you was always doing?
100%. Unless one of them buy each other out, or they invest and come under some banner together officially. And that's a funny thing about it for me as well, because I take it lightly. I take it with a grain of salt, Blue. I'm be honest with you. This whole coming together thing, I'm like, you guys have made fights in the past before from time to time. You'll come across and make fights together. What does that mean, you're coming together and working with each other now? Because last I heard, Top Rank was going over to the Zone. Right, and PBC's over there with Amazon, so you guys aren't coming together. You're just agreeing to do something. So there's really nothing.
No. I broke the news yesterday that Top Rank gonna be doing shows on Amazon too.
Oh, they're gonna do both? Okay, okay. But still, if they're not coming together officially in an official capacity, you know, it's temporary. It's 100% temporary. It's 100% just a right now situation to solve a problem we have right now. But it's going to get worse and worse. Bro, when Dana starts kicking off these events, I'm telling you guys, listen, bro, I see people over here talking about this pay structure, which Turki already debunked and said that's not what it is. But, brother, there's no way that y'all believe that Dana White is a competitive. This man gambles $250,000, $100,000 bets at poker per hand, $100,000 per hand. This man is not playing no games. He plays for keeps. Bruh, the pay is not going to be the way y'all think it is. I'm telling you. If you think he's going to sit there and try to pay fighters UFC wages, he's not. He's coming to bust your head. You heard him say he's not fighting with, he's not even going to work with the promoters out there. He's at war, and they know they're at war. That's why they're coming together. And I'm telling you, it's deep. It's not even about Turki. It's about Dana. This whole thing coming together, you might want to thank Dana, because they know what they're dealing with. They know they got a straight animal that's about to jump in this game. He's petty. He's petty, and he's not humble.
Right.
He's going to aim to break you. And he's like, in many ways, he has Donald Trump energy, where he's going to leverage his resources. He's going to leverage what he has access to. Don't be shocked if he's not OD overpaying fighters. You're talking about underpaying. Don't be shocked if he ain't overpaying fighters, literally snatching and poaching one fighter at a time from under your umbrella and putting the pressure on you to try to match him. He's going to play dirty. He's going to be dirty boxing, bro. Watch. Just remember I told you.
And on top of that, Clay, this is something else people are not realizing. He's not using his own money.
No. And he's got a flat rate, Blue.
Right.
He's getting paid $10 million for the year. And so is Nick Khan. They're not making money the way promoters are making money. They don't need the event to be. That's why I laugh when people say, when I heard Samson Leibowitz say that, oh, your event only sold 45,000 pay-per-views. And you guys are still operating on an outdated business model. They don't care. They're already getting around the whole entire pay-per-view thing. They're streaming. They're going to Netflix. They're going for a whole different energy. They're going to put all their money into production, and they're going to put it all into what you see happen around. They're going to make it a spectacle. It's not going to be about a fighter. It's going to be about the event. You know what I'm saying? Fighters are suing the UFC. So what? Chris Eubank was suing Frank Warren. Terrence Crawford was suing Bob Arum. Welcome to the business of sports, bro. You guys act like you're going to use some lawsuit or something that's happened, some disagreement between fighters and promoters, like like Dana's the first person to have this issue. All the promoters you dealing with have been dealing with this for years, bro. They're always getting sued. Somebody's always getting got. Brother, you guys are about to see what it's all about. You're gonna see, and you're gonna find out that these fighters they're not as sentimental as you guys are. They're prize fighters, bro. You'll see. They're prize fighters. Money moves the needle. And as long as Turki, Dana White, and Nick Khan are controlling this type of budget that they got, they're going to be a threat to anybody's sunny day, bro. They're going to make it rain in boxing land, bro. They're going to make it rain. Watch. You'll see. You think he's about, you guys look at Dana, I don't know how you do it or why you do it that way, but you guys look at Dana White as somebody who doesn't understand the game that he's getting into. You're about to find out how he built the UFC up from nothing to where it's at. He didn't jump into the game.
That's another thing, right? Like, I don't get it. And salute to Lance Shepard back in the super chat. Blessings, family. He said, blood, you and Clay do meet and greet for the fight. Oh, do a meet and greet for what the
May 2nd event.
Yeah, the May. Yeah, I mean, we could set that up. Why not? Right?
Yeah, we can make that happen. I'm down.
Yeah.
I'll be around. I know Show gonna be in the city too. Biz gonna be in the city too.
Yeah, we can set that up. Kendall Stowers, brother, in the super chat, dropping that Cinco on this in the super chat. He said, if Tank wins a razor-thin decision to Roach and gets embarrassed by Jake Paul, how bad does this affect his stock? He's not going to care because he's probably going to retire after that.
Yeah. Tank is, he's going to have to show me because I feel like he's already out of here.
Yeah, the fact that he's trying to get to the Jake Paul fight, right, Clay? It tells me everything I need to know anyway.
Yeah, he's done.
He's done. Yeah, he's mentally checked out. I mean, the people around him can say what they want. Kendall Stowers, he got this amount of fights, and all. That's not what he's saying, and that's not what his actions speak louder than words. And his actions are showing us the fact that. Okay, let's just talk about that for a second, right? Let me get the super chats off. Salute to Fasholi Shaw nephew back in the super chat. He said, happy belated born day to your uncle. Salute, nephew. Appreciate you 1,000%, man. Fasholi Shaw nephew back in the super chat, dropping another Cinco on us in the super chat. He said, man, I'm tired of hearing interviews with fighters or managers who say, what have you done? Who have you fought? Sell the fight. Tell them to run it. Facts. It's just nasty work, man. It's nasty work. But just to discuss this, right? This Tank and Jake Paul situation. Clay, if first of all, Tank can't fight him, what is Tank gonna weigh? 135?
Tank's gonna weigh so much, he's not gonna cut that weight to come back down.
Go ahead, elaborate, Clay, because that's exactly where I was going with this.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of figured that's what people don't understand. That's why I know the Jake Paul situation is the end of Tank, because Tank's not gonna go up and fight at 150. He's probably gonna go up to like 150, 155, just to probably have Jake Paul come down to like 165, 170. You know what I mean? It's going to be a stupid looking fight where Tank is basically, I don't want to say running from Jake Paul, but watch, you'll see. and he's gonna be moving around the ring. He's gonna get his bag. He's gonna go home. So you think he's about to go cut and go back down and fight at 135? I don't think so.
Right.
I don't think he does it.
He's not gonna weigh anything under 150 pounds.
Right.
He's gonna be at least 150.
Yeah.
And that could be being generous.
Maybe he'll compete at 140. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he goes to 140 and he does something at 140 afterwards. But once again, Tank gives me the vibes of somebody like a Jamel Charlo, right? Like Jamel Charlo got the bag with Canelo and he just disappeared. Didn't even give you another interview the day after, right? Like just completely went away. Tank has made it clear that's what he wants to do. So when Tank gets his money, he won't even tell you bye. He won't even tell you bye. I'm telling you, he won't even tell you bye, bro.
He go. I mean, Jake Paul. First of all, Jake Paul can't come. There's no way he's coming in anything under 168 pounds, and that's being.
Right. And he's gonna be depleted when he does that. He's gonna be looking crazy.
Right. So it ain't gonna be 150 pounds, 140 pounds fighting it. I doubt that because he don't want to get embarrassed.
Yeah. He'll come in at the best shape he can at the highest weight possible. So that'll probably be like 150. You know what I'm saying? He'll come in 150, you know what I mean? Rehydrate to 153 on fight night, you know what I'm saying? And he'll fight there. But once he's done, listen, just read the history. Look how Errol carried it. Look how Jamel carried it. Look how a lot of your favorite fighters carried it after they got the money. It's hard for them to get motivated and get up the next morning and cut weight and eat a certain way and live a boxer's lifestyle. That's a strict lifestyle. You saw Errol go from a rematch with Terrence Crawford, supposedly maybe even at 147, to okay, let's do it at 154, to I'm no longer fighting Terrence Crawford, to okay, I'm trying to fight Tim Tszyu, to I'm not fighting Sebastian Fundora, to I want to fight Erislandy Lara at 160. What he's letting you know is I don't feel like doing this no more. You feel me? I'm down to get the money, but the sacrifice that's in the details of competing at the highest levels, I'm just over it. And I feel you might even be hearing it from Tank. I think a lot of the situation with Tank is obviously a big part of it is the money. I believe is the money and the paydays he's looking for that doesn't seem to necessarily be there for him the way he wants to have it. But also it's the discipline of boxing. It's the lifestyle of boxing that's weighing on him. He's sick of living that way. He's sick of eating a certain way, living a certain way, having to train, having to be accountable, and he's sick of the training. He doesn't mind the fighting. He's sick of everything in between. Right. Once you get rich, I'll go to MMA and say Conor McGregor. As soon as he got that payday with Floyd Mayweather, that was it. You can't go the discipline. I'm not doing this. I'm not staying inside this weight and doing all this stuff. Nah, bro. And he didn't even realize for himself until he was in the situation because he'd make fights, right? Yeah, go ahead, sign me up. Then the fight would get close and then the fight would get ended. The fight wouldn't happen. What happened? Him being like, I just ain't doing 3 months. I'm not doing this.
Ain't motivated.
I'm not doing it.
Because then you start to ask yourself, why? Why am I doing this?
Yeah. Solely
for legacy? Stormy B, man, Triple OG. What's up, Stormy? G tatted up nephew back in the super chat, dropping a cinco on us in the super chat. Salute to the kings of covering boxing. I wish both of y'all the best health and most wealth for y'all and y'all families. Same to you. Likewise to you, family. Salute you, G tatted up. Yeah, Clay. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very hard. Yeah. Very hard when you're doing it for no reason. And
isn't that a reason why you don't see super wealthy silver spoon kids boxing every day? Like you see a counter band, but there's a certain struggle attached with the idea of becoming a professional boxer. There's a certain need, a necessity that's always been there for an up and coming boxer. You listen to Mike Tyson story, man. I had nothing. You know what I'm saying? You hear Roy Jones, hardcore dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, get it from nothing. You hear all of them, even Devin Haney, who had a certain silver spoon, you could say to a degree, but his father came from a certain struggle and built that into his son. And obviously Tank, we don't need to go there, right? With his story. And one thing about Tank I like for sure is he's transparent. He's very rarely capping out here. He'll tell you straight up, bro, I came in here for this, and this, and I was trying to do this, and I came from this. And I was just trying to, I'm already a winner because I'm doing this. It's the fans that have a hard time accepting his truth, you know what I'm saying, of what he's saying and understanding what he's really saying to you guys. It's not easy to do this game, man.
No. And it's like, Clay, if I worked at any job and suddenly I came into $400 million, it's like, I'm going to get up, punch this clock again?
I might lie to you and say I'll see you in the morning.
Yeah.
But trust me, before the sun come up, I'll come to my senses.
And you might even try every now and then.
I might even come in right quick. Like, come in.
Yeah.
As one person rub me a little wrong way, I'm out, bro.
I'm out. I'm leaving.
You'd be lucky if I punch out.
Right. I don't need to be here. What am I here for?
Yeah, bro.
For what? So imagine depriving yourself of food, doing 3-a-days, not seeing your family. Like, bro, for what?
Getting punched on, just sparring, punched on.
Right.
Man, listen, bro.
And then on top of that, running the risk of not being able to spend the money when you step in that ring. Because it's a risk. That's a risk in itself.
Yeah, bro.
I might not even get out the ring.
We just watched somebody pass away in the ring a couple days ago. Rest in peace to that brother.
And he didn't even get hit.
He just had it. He just had some complicated situations. But I promise you, whatever it was from exertion on his body. I bet you had a lot to do with that training camp. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace once again. You know what I'm saying? But this game is not, we don't play boxing, bro. So unless somebody has a necessity to be inside that ring, they are not promised to be in that ring the next day, bro. They just not, bro. You see how Tyson Fury carried it?
Yeah. They're like, bro, I like, what am I getting ready to do right now? Like, I know Tyson Fury, the competitor in him, D-Boy Dev, what's up, family? Robert Chandler, what's up, family? King Grayson, what's up? I know the competitor in Tyson Fury says he wants to fight Joshua. But then on the flip side, it's like, bro, for what?
I mess around, clip me, and I'll be talking funny for the rest of my life, bro. Be walking around with funny, catch Parkinson. Like, what are we actually doing this for? You know, until you get punched with an 8-ounce glove, bro, or a 10-ounce glove by a 250-pound man, you might not realize exactly what makes somebody be like, I'm straight.
Right.
I'm good.
Right.
I'm good.
And then you got to think. You look at your peers. Spinks can't talk. James Toney can't talk.
Right.
Can we pinpoint when was the fight that changed that? You can't.
Riddick Bowe.
Man, I seen Riddick Bowe. So sad. I seen him in Vegas. He walking on the back of his sneakers. He dragging his feet, bruh. Yeah, that ain't the Big Daddy Bowe I know that was talking. Come on, Maya Egypt, peace of blessings, Queen.
Peace, Queen.
You know what I'm saying, Clay? I seen Riddick Bowe. He dragging his feet. He walking like this, bro. That at that point, it's like, bro, what did you do it for? You're not enjoying it.
You hope his family's doing is reaping the benefits. You hope his kids is in the best schools. You hope that generational wealth is there. You hope that his grandchildren ain't got to work. You hope that the sacrifice added up to something because the cost was high, man. So you just hope that whatever he paid for was just, you could look at it and see it. And unfortunately, the reality is, Blue, when you look at it to see it, you find out it wasn't worth it. Like, you look at it like, damn, bro, you didn't even come up.
Yeah.
You didn't even really come up like that. You spent your money like shit, or excuse me, you spent your own money like crap, and you have nothing, and now you're just you're showing up in spaces trying to get $3 grand, $5 grand here. You're doing little charity events and trying to get paid for it. You're trying to do potential speaking events that you can't even speak straight at. It's a sad game. These fighters go through what they go through, and it looks like fun and games, but why you think Edgar Berlanga's sitting there doing it the way he's doing it? Mm-hmm. Come on, bro. Let's be honest. Edgar Berlanga's not motivated to box right now, bro. He made his payday from Canelo. You know what I'm saying? He made a decent payday, and now if it ain't the ultimate right bag, he ain't getting in that ring, bro.
Right.
If it ain't that right bag, he ain't getting in that ring, bro. He ain't gonna do it.
Right.
Because nobody likes to get punched on.
Nah. Glue Man Live, my brother in the super chat, dropping that Cinco on this in the super chat. Support to y'all, my brothers. I've been busy for a minute, but I never miss a post. Salute to your family.
Salute, King.
And here's the thing, right? That's why people say Floyd Mayweather was insane. Mm-hmm. Because Floyd Mayweather still did it like he didn't have $1. Still. This dude still trained today.
Yeah.
He's still trained today. Chuck PC Real Boxing, Q Breeze, what's up? Polar Beast, what's up? Carl Henderson, what's up? He's still training today.
Yeah, bro. But he worked his way into position, Blue, to pick the right fights.
Right.
He loves the game of boxing. He likes to be in shape. He's somebody who grew a love for the training, for the preparation of the fights. Right. He likes to do it. He eliminated the sparring, but he likes to train. He likes to run in the morning. He likes to hit the bag. He likes to hit the mitts. He likes to stay on weight. So he'll pick his fights. You're watching Canelo Alvarez do the same thing to a degree, right? He's going to pick his fights. He's not going to pick the hard fights. He's fought his way. That's why I can respect what Canelo does to a degree. It annoys me that he holds them damn belts the way he does. But at the end of the day, I can respect, bro. I worked my way into making hundreds of millions of dollars. I fought over 60 fights. I have all my mental capacity is still operating at least an 85, 90%. I got a beautiful wife. I got kids. I'm not going to get up in there with no damn monster David Benavidez to get my head knocked loose, bro. I'm just not doing it. It's not worth it to me, bro. I'll fight Terrence because I don't think he's going to do nothing to me. He might beat me in boxing, but he ain't going to punch me stupid. You know what I'm saying? At least I don't think he will. Right? That's when you make the money, bro. That's the name of the game. It's prize fighting. Once you get up there, Blue, and you make that money, how do you motivate yourself to put yourself in the crosshairs of death? You know what I'm saying? How do you volunteer yourself to continue to do that when you don't gotta do it? Why do I jump in front of somebody who can legitimately kill me and probably, for all argument's sake, is trying to kill me?
Right.
For what?
Because he think you trying to get him.
Right. I got $250 million in my bank account, bro. I ain't getting in the ring with that dude, bro. I'm straight. Right. I'm good. I'm all right. I'll be okay. I'm doing it.
Mitch Hennessy said Canelo never had a hard day in boxing. Sheesh. Did you watch them first two Triple G fights?
Punched on them fights, bro.
I don't know what you talking about, great brother.
There's a reason why they say that man got the best chin they ever seen in boxing. They say that man got the best chin. You know why? Because they seen it tested so much.
He took some hellacious punches from Triple G.
Oh yeah, bro.
Some hellacious punches from Triple G.
It is what it is, man. And Tank is there, Blue. And this is where people start to blame the Al Haymons and the PBC and the pay structure in the way that they did, because they pay these fighters a lot of money. And listen, man, I get it, right? If somebody wants to sit there and be like, that's Al Haymon did something great for Tank. He made it to where he didn't have to get punched on like that to get those checks. Okay, that's what's up. But as a boxing fan, you didn't benefit off of it. You feel me? Because you overpaid him, and now it's time for him to put those fights together, and he doesn't have the motivation to do it. He just ain't got it in him to do it because he's already on point. I'm not saying starve them and don't pay them correctly, whatever have you, but there's got to be some checks and balances in here. It's got to be balanced out to agree. You paid him, but you know what I'm saying? You pay him so much they don't even want to fight no more because you paid them so much. You only want to fight not once a year. I don't fault Terrence. Terrence is following the green print. Bro, I'm paid. I'm rich, bro. I'm not fight. I'll fight once a year. Yeah, bro. I'll hold off and I'll fight Canelo in September. But dog, you need a tune-up fight. I don't like seeing. Yeah. I bet you would want me to have a tune-up fight. I get it, bro. But yeah, I appreciate you, bro. But I'll be all right, bro. I'll wait till September, have my fight, collect my money, and go home. I'm done, man. I'm not working no more. I'm hustling. I'm stacking my money. This is a whole nother mission. You should have caught me, 5+ years ago. Then you would have seen that Terrence you want to see, fighting everybody. You said my name, I want to smoke. Not no more, bro. Not no more. Now we collecting money or we going home. And more importantly, we going home. You know what I'm saying? More important.
Exactly. Rich Porter, what's up, family? Mitch Hennessy said, great brother, Triple G. I don't care how overrated you claim him to be. Did you see the punches he landed? I don't care how overrated you claim him to be. Dogfight, what's up, family? Ray Davis, my brother, what's up, family? I don't care. I don't care how overrated you claim him to be. You get in there and take them punches from him.
Right. Come on, bro. Y'all can't be Y'all can't be that lost to believe. I know the game is to throw shots at the legacy and throw shots at the resumes, especially like I heard. I didn't even watch the whole thing, but Terrence Crawford, I guess, tearing down Errol Spence a little bit, which I don't agree with, right? You know what I'm saying, as far as the way he feels about it, but I do feel like he's well within his right to have his damn opinion. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I also think it's a large part of him trolling the crap out of you Errol Spence fans. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? I think he never misses an opportunity to slap y'all over the head. You know what I'm saying? Like, he never misses an opportunity because y'all put him through such hell on the back end of that Errol Spence fight. Even on the front end of putting the fight together, y'all put him through so much hell. He never misses an opportunity to poke at the bear, bro, and let y'all know, ha 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 ha. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, questioning the resume is the thing to do, right? But like you said, Blue, ain't none of y'all gonna get up there with Triple G and let him punch on you to really find out if he's overrated or not.
Right? Who taking him? Man, come on, man.
Stop it.
I don't care how overrated you claim him to be. Did you see the punches he was landing?
Crazy.
What does his legacy have to do with those punches he was landing? Nothing. Nothing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But let me ask you this question. Alfred McKinney, my brother, back in the super chat, dropping another cinco on the super chat. Peace, Blue and Clay. Blue, who wins, Prime, Triple G, or Bud? I got Terrence Crawford.
Yeah, I just don't bet against Terrence, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you got to beat him. Once you beat him, I know you can beat him. That's how that works.
Yeah, and I thought that Triple G struggled with Kell Brook.
Yeah.
So, and Terrence Crawford, I think Terrence Crawford would just find a way to win. He's very vanilla, like Floyd said. It's not like he got a lot of special effects and traits, and like he's consistent. That's what he is.
Yeah.
And he's very technical, and he has power, but he's not very fast. He don't have very fast feet. You know what I'm saying?
He don't got no special wrinkles to him. He's just really,
Right. It's not a lot to figure out. He do have that one punch though, where he turns it and hits you where you ain't supposed to hit on the top of the head, and he hits you there. Yee Hunter, what's up, family? And he clips you there. That's a special. That's one thing that he has that's special, because you ain't supposed to. You teach not to do that, and he turns his punch into it. Right. He purposely does it. So, that's. But for the most part, I think that Terrence Crawford could outbox him. And when we say Terrence Crawford can win, people automatically think for some reason he gonna knock him out or he can't hurt him. Like, no, it's a point system. You can win on points.
Brother, they used to say that about Floyd, right? They said Floyd didn't hurt nobody, he had bad hands. But when he fought Manny Pacquiao threw out less punches per round than he did in any other fight that he ever did. Miguel Cotto actually commented on it and said, no, boy got pop on him. He had enough pop to make every fighter that stood in front of him honest. Nobody only person I ever see like effectively, like relentlessly try to steamroll him no matter what was Maidana, in my opinion. Like, he just didn't give a damn, right? He played dirty. He was I'm gonna put this pressure on you, push you back. But for the most part, everybody act tough. But by the third round, you was acting right. You was protecting yourself at all times. You know what I'm saying? You was boxing. You was out there like, I don't need to be just getting hit by this dude. So, it's deceiving a little bit, I think, to say that, Terrence Crawford doesn't have enough power to get the respect from Canelo, where Canelo's just walking him down relentlessly. I think you're going to see Canelo fight a very honest fight with Terrence. I think that's what you're going to see. And know that when you see him fight that honest fight, it's because Terrence got enough power. Maybe not to knock him out, but to make that boy respect.
He's going to make him be honest.
Yeah.
And remember, even Canelo said that. Remember, Canelo said, no, Floyd got a lot of power.
Yup.
Is that he don't use it because his hands are messed up. Right. So he just used it just enough to let you know, if I want to, and if you don't pay attention, this could get ugly for you.
I might break my hand across your head, but you don't get hit across your head.
Right. Don't play that game. Crazy. Play that game with me. What Buzz say? You get out of line, you gonna pay?
Yeah. He said, you read, I teach. Oh yeah, when he said when you saw one when Bud said that to Errol, or yeah. He's like, you gonna stop him? He's like, if he get out of line.
If he get out of line, it's gonna get ugly. And that's Floyd. Floyd is like, listen, I'm gonna hit you with enough power in the beginning to let you know this ain't what you want. And so for the rest of the fight, now he got you thinking, hey, this dude could hit me, right? And you don't know when it's gonna come, if it's ever gonna come again. Because now he just pot shotting you. And when he throw that jab to the solar plex, he ain't throwing that with no light touch.
No, he's stabbing you, right? Shout out to Calvin Ford. It's penitentiary rules, right?
He He put effort into that because he know it's zapping your energy.
Yep.
So Kendall Styles, brother in the super chat, dropping that half a dub on this in the super chat. I'm very interested in knowing the details of Tank's contract. Mans went from saying he has a 7-fight contract to getting out after the Paul fight. Nah. Oh, we know that not to be true. We quickly figured that out.
That's debunked that very early, bro.
Yeah, he Kendall Styles, he never even said it. He didn't even utter the words again. He said it on that interview with Najee and never said it again.
Yeah.
Never.
Why is there so much hate for Tank? Who's hating on Tank?
We ain't even going to acknowledge them because they just get us right. That they just come here to get us off a track and you know just to bamboozle us. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Salute to Kendall Styles back in the super. I seen him a couple of times. That's why I just ignored him.
Okay.
I ain't even gonna put the energy because then we get sidetracked and
you right. You 100% right, bro.
Yeah, they do that just to throw off. We ain't even talking about that, and they constantly, you know what I'm saying? It's just nasty work, bro. Kendall Styles, brother, back in the super chat, dropping another half a dub on the super chat. He said, by the way, them people in New York need to work on etiquette. Dude cut me in line in the bodega, turned and coughed in my face.
Yeah,
I should have put them beaters on him, but I'm 27, too long in the tooth to be scrapping. Hey,
welcome to my city, baby.
Yeah, welcome to New York, bro. Welcome to New York, bro.
He just probably saw you look the other way and like, I ain't even think he was online. Should have been paying attention.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bro, New York City is so bizarre, it's not even funny, bro. It's not a real place. You know, they got them sayings on Instagram and everything. New York City's not a real place. Mm-hmm. Bro, did you see a little off topic real quick, but did you see the dudes walking across the street in the Bronx under the train tracks? No. And they like, bro, where does blood come from? And it's a bunch of blood on the ground. Then they looked up on the train tracks and there's a dude laying on the tracks. His head is off.
Nah, I didn't, bro.
Straight skull wide open.
Straight Law and Order.
But it's broad, but Clay, it ain't even at night. It's broad daylight. They just happen to look up and dude laying on the tracks.
Yeah, bro. In a city that's lawless, that's overpopulated, that's got all that going on, stuff like that happen in broad daylight. And we in a city where people are trained like prison. Like we trained to look the other way. We mind our business.
You step right over it, walk right past them.
You don't even want nobody questioning you about it, and you don't want nobody who did it to be questioning whether or not you got questions about it. You just keep it moving, bro.
Just keep on going. Mind your business.
That's it.
See, what up, nephew? Yeah, no. We learned to mind our business real quick here in New York. Nope.
I promise you.
Just walk right on them. Keep on walking.
Take your kids and make them look forward to. Hey, what you looking at, man? Look at me. Keep walking.
Yeah. Keep walking. That's it. You ever hear that saying, people? When you walk through New York City, your life value goes down. It does. Because nobody cares. Nobody cares. So if it don't involve them,
walk in the park. Walk in the park. What you talking about, Clay? What happened to the walk in the park? I did walk. What are you talking about? I walked with the wife. I did. I didn't walk in the park. I walked around the block. I'm walking around the block twice a day now.
Oh, so yeah?
Yeah, and then I'm going to start walking fast, and I'm going to start running. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I'm up to 9,000 steps right now. I got 1,000 more to go.
Yeah. Shout out, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ramadan. I lost like 26 pounds. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's a good look.
And we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going.
Yeah, just keep on track.
Yeah, man.
And Kendall said he looked at me like I was the problem. Oh, that's how they do you in New York.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you just, you know what I'm saying? You just let it be. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
For sure, D-boy. Definitely crawling before I walk, man. Then I'll be walking fast and I'll be running.
I went to the Yankee game. Aze came. What's up, family? And I'm in the subway, right, Clay? Homeless dude said, I bought a bottle of water in one of the stores. I come out, homeless dude like, bro, spare dollar, this, and this. I'm like, nah, I ain't got it. He said, man, I know you got it, man. You got on a crisp new Jordans and Yankee hat. Bro, what? So I just looked, I said, what? I said, bro, all right, man.
That boy, he just priced your hat out. He said, that's like a $50 hat on your head. That's like a damn, you know what I'm saying? He done priced out. Boy, I know you got that money, man. What you talking about, man?
Yeah, he I said, bro, come on, bro. He's like, oh, I know you got a crisp brand new Yankee hat and crisp Jordans on. And I said, bro, what? Man, go ahead, man. This dude is wild. Even the homeless, you know what I'm saying? Even the homeless. Q Breeze, I didn't see the super chat, bro.
Yeah, it's not in here.
No, I didn't see the super chat, bro.
Hold on, I forgot to ask my question. Shake my hand. Hold on, I forgot to ask my question. Or he maybe just sent, I don't know. It is what it is.
Yeah. All of I forgot to ask my question. Shaking my
Yo,
hand.
homeless people got card scanners now? Finally.
Yeah.
You know that annoys me when I see a homeless person and they ask me for spare change. I'm like, brother, I do not walk around with
spare change
on me or spare change on me. I don't remember the last time I had $1 in my pocket. Yeah, I don't remember the last time I had like a nickel or I genuinely don't remember the last time I had a nickel.
Right. This ain't 1985.
Yeah, bro. I'd be laughing at them like, you messing up. You need to go get you a card scanner, bro. That's if I did want to give you some money, but which I would never scan my card and no scanner you was holding. But at the end of the day, at least it would make more practical sense because this idea that you have that I'm going to put 75 cents in your cup is diabolical.
Right. The change thing is over with, man.
Yeah, man.
So now, Clay, I wanted to ask this, man. Do you think if Jab Jamboree, Act Reacher, what's up, family? You think the PBC and Top Rank come together?
Mm-hmm.
Lomachenko got an injured back.
Mm-hmm.
What big fight can they make for Tank? Now we know, and another thing people were saying to me, nah, bro, they're gonna put together Xander Zayas versus Fundora. Well, that's being ordered. That's being ordered. So they're gonna have to put that together one way or another.
Or forfeit the belt.
Right.
I mean, which Sebastian Fundora has made clear he's not doing for nothing. He wants to go undisputed. Shout out to you, Sebastian Fundora, for keeping the bill.
Right. So they're gonna force that fight. But if Lomachenko is physically unable to perform, what fight can they make for Tank?
There's only one.
That's a big fight.
There's only one. As far as Top Rank and PBC is concerned, as far as their conversation is concerned, it's Keyshawn. Right. I've been told y'all Keyshawn gonna do this, man. I told you the feeling was there. Keyshawn gonna make it happen. Once he gets that belt,
you've been saying it.
Gets that belt, it's gonna be hard for Tank to get around this whole situation. You know what I mean? It's gonna be difficult for him to get around this conversation, especially at least with Shakur. He can do the Eddie Hearn matchroom thing and act like that means something. You know what I'm saying? But not right now with PBC and Top Rank in the same conversation with each other. Man, it's gonna be hard to get around this damn Keyshawn fight.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard.
I mean, what direction could they possibly go in? They ain't got nobody else at 135.
No, I mean Jake Paul.
I mean, but he ain't even with Top Rank.
Right, but I mean he with Netflix, right? So you know, Lamont, Roach, and then Jake Paul.
And that's another thing, right? Mm-hmm. Right, Clay? If he fighting Jake Paul, then why is Top Rank talking about making a fight for Tank?
Because nothing is finalized at the end of the day, right? We don't know that the Jake Paul. For me, I don't know that the Jake Paul Tank fight is gonna happen. I think the cat's out of the bag. I think the mystique is gone. I think they've had an opportunity to hear. I think most of the boxing space is like laughing at that fight even harder than they did at the Lamont Roach fight when that got put together. So I think a lot of that steam has been pulled out of it. Like you hear Jake Paul talking about fighting Anthony Joshua now. So that lets you know he's trying to go up, not down. The fight never made sense, and it might not make sense anymore. And once again, with this loss against Lamont Roach and then seeing Jake Paul at the fight, the whole surprise and the shock value of that fight has been taken away. So there's a good chance, in my opinion, more than likely, he's not going to fight Jake Paul. That's what I just think for me personally, it's the idea that it's the audacity that you even were entertaining to do it is diabolical because your fan base was speaking in the space of like, yo, he gonna make a fight with all these dudes. He's gonna fight Keyshawn. He's gonna fight Shakur. And the whole time, and that's why I say he don't even be touching in. He don't even be tapping in with you guys because you guys be saying one thing and Tank will do something completely different. He doesn't acknowledge you guys for what you guys acknowledge him to be. Like he doesn't support you guys the way you support him. I'm not throwing shots at Tank. I think, I have no problems with Tank, bro. Like I've already respected Tank on the level he wants to be respected at. I don't care for. I don't say he needs to make this fight or make that fight. The only time I say that is if you want me to acknowledge something, if you want me to put him in a category, or if you want me to hold him in the same conversation as somebody else, then I'll let you know what the route is to get me there to talk like that about him, right? But other than that, I've accepted that Tank doesn't want to fight nobody, that he's made a lot of money, and that he's upset with his current situation. He's trying to get out of boxing. I'm done with him. But the fan base that pushes back and always argues and says all these arguments to find out that this guy was fighting Jake Paul, you guys can't defend that. He was this close. If you would have just got that win against Lamont Roach, he was this close to making y'all look like idiots out here, bro. You guys would have been on your channels and on your platforms defending a Jake Paul fight.
Right.
Like you should be able, you guys would have, because I know that's what y'all would have done, right? I know y'all wouldn't have held him to the fire. Y'all would have been fighting him, defending him. You would have brought up, I don't know, maybe you would have brought up Francis Ngannou and Anthony Joshua fighting, or Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury. You would have brought up all these examples. You would have brought up Conor McGregor fighting against Floyd Mayweather, and you didn't say nothing about. I know how you guys think already. You guys is like not complicated. Trust me when I tell you, we're not dealing with rocket science here, bro. I know exactly what y'all would have done, but that's what you would have had to do. You would have been sitting there defending that fight, bro.
Right.
Calling me and Blue haters for crapping on that fight, for tearing that fight down and saying it's the biggest joke in the world. There'd have been a million y'all in the chat talking about we hating on Tank and giving all these examples. But he almost did it to y'all. He almost did it to y'all. I'm telling you, on the back end of a fight with Lamont Roach, he was about to embarrass the whole fan base, bro, with no remorse.
They better thank Lamont Roach.
They better thank him for giving y'all a great fight and giving us a great fight to see in the rematch. But we were this close to being like, now what?
Right.
Now what?
And Tank was going to say, now what? And Tank was going to say, now what?
Exactly, bro.
He's going to be like, I told y'all I'm getting that bag.
He'd have been like, I'm about to get 75, 50 million for this fight, and I'm out of here. I don't care.
I'm about to get that Netflix bag. Peace.
And like I said, he wouldn't even tell you peace. You just wouldn't hear him. It'd been like about 6 months of going, where Tank at? He ain't saying nothing to nobody. He'd have been gone just like the Charlos did. Just like the Charlos. You see how the Charlos did it?
Yeah.
The next day, Jamel left. The next day, he bounced after that Canelo fight. Never said not another damn word.
He just started resurfacing.
Straight up.
Big Herm brother in the super chat. He said, Magic Duo. Keyshawn will stretch Tank. Good fight. Yeah.
Well.
Big Herm back in the super chat. He said the community needs more 50-50 fights. Turkey gone. No, Turkey ain't leave.
Yeah.
He ain't leave. He ain't going nowhere.
Turkey trolling.
Nah, he ain't going nowhere. He was just April Fool's trolling people, man. Jordan Smith, what's up? So what you think about the Tank Lamont Roach rematch?
I love it, man. I think Lamont is going to be even more confident, but I think this, you know what it is? The Lamont Roach and his father give me super humble, grounded energy. Like, I don't think this fight is gone to their head, the last fight. I don't think the results of the fight went to their head. I think they know Tank in a way to where they're just not sleeping on him. And they're going to fight him very similar to how they fought him the first time, except they might start a little earlier, just a little bit earlier. And I think they're going to try to, they might try to knock him out, but I don't think they will. I think they're going to win this fight because they know they can, well, I'm not saying they're going to win the fight. They're going to try to win this fight because they know they can. Because I think Tank, I'm still favoring Tank to win the fight. I ain't gonna lie, I'm still favoring him to win the fight, right? But I think it's gonna be a competitive fight again. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna go to 12 rounds again, and I think it's more than likely going to be a close decision again. You know what I'm saying? But this time without the knee, and probably going to go Tank's way off the strength of maybe what they're planning next with him. You know what I'm saying? Of the strength of him keeping that zero being important. But I think it's gonna be a great fight. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna be a great fight.
Yeah, I think that I'm so intrigued by the fight because I want to see if does he have his number? You know what I'm saying? Is it a Antonio Tarver, Roy Jones situation? You know what I'm saying?
I
Where
think
he
it's
just
close
got his
to it.
number.
I think the buttons that Calvin Ford was talking about, I think they did get pushed. And Blue, I'm be honest with you, I think the buttons took too long to get pushed in that fight. In other words, they waited too long. And this is the fighter development thing. This is why you hear me talking about Abdullah Mason fighting a Giovanni Cabrera or Joe Cordina, or these fights that I keep asking for, these stylistically different fights than what they're used to, because the development of the fighter happens in those fights. And when you just get used to fighting that one kind of fighter, you know what I mean? The William Zepedas, the Isak Cruzes, the Leo Santa Cruzes, the Mario Barrioses, the come forward flat foot Mexican fighters. They might work behind a jab, but for the most part, they're bringing that pressure that Tank can take advantage of. They're letting their hands go so Tank can process data and rhythm and punch in between your punches and catch you. Then all of a sudden you get in front of a fighter who's not doing it. Lamont Roach really showed pressure. He put pressure on Tank without letting his hands go. He was a counter puncher who's applying pressure to Tank. So his presence in the space he was occupying and the need for Tank to have action and starving Tank of that action and kind of forcing Tank to kind of let his shots go first so they can counterpunch gave him issues. Tank does not like the inactivity. He doesn't like the crowd potentially not like what's going on in the ring. So Lamont worked that and used that pressure on Tank and caused Tank to get uncomfortable to do things that he would have normally do in a fight. I think he's going to do the same thing. I think in order for Tank to beat Lamont Roach this coming up fight, he's going to have to be offensive. He's going to have to let his hands go a lot more than you've guys seen him do before. And that's going to be a different Tank, and that'll be entertaining. We'll see how that works out for him. You know what I'm saying? We'll see how that works. I think it'll end in a victory, but it'll be a different one. But he stopped the nonsense. Roach knew he could beat him, so he already was grounded, so it's not going to their head. That's what I just said. See, cool. I just literally said that he's grounded.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to his head. I don't know what else to say, bro. I thought that's what I said. It is what it is. I don't know, Sequel. Maybe I said something different. I got to watch some playback.
Tank don't like to be first. He like to counterpunch.
100%. But you can force him because Tank, you know what else I found out, Blue? Tank is, in a way, impatient.
Right.
In a way, right? Like he's patient as long as you acting right. But when you're not acting right, he gets very anxious. Very anxious. You know what I'm saying? And I think Lamont Roach and his father they tapped into that anxiety. He has an anxiety, I think, of losing. I think he has a lot of anxiety with that, and he also has an anxiety with being part of boring fights. He has a big anxiety with the boring fight idea of him being part of that. So I think that's probably one of the biggest fears or phobias he has with fighting a Shakur Stevenson or a Devin Haney, is the fact that he may have to be first. He have to be offensive. He may have to take more risk because he knows they won't. And the fact that they won't means the chances he's taking means he can get counterpunched and he can get beat that way. And I think he kind of knows that subconsciously, and he doesn't have the patience. He doesn't have the patience to deal with that. He'll take the chance. He will not be part of a boring fight, which I love about Tank when he's in fights, right? He won't be part of it. He'll go for it, I think. Where Shakur and Devin have no problem being part of a boring fight. They'll do no problem. 12 rounds of boringness, boo, walk away to win and not think twice about it. Tank can't do that.
Nope. He ain't like the fact they was booing him with this, and it was action packed.
Yeah. You went around a circle like you giving Tank an excuse. Okay.
Salute to Seat Cool in the super chat, dropping that Cinco on the super chat. Blue Clay, how is Tank going to fight a heavyweight but can't fight at 140 pounds? Make that make sense. Tank is a duck and won't fight his won't fight his contemporaries.
Yeah. Listen, man. Tank has money, man. We were saying it in the beginning, but it's hard, man. You know, Marvin Hagler said it's hard to get up. What did he say, out of satin sheets or silk sheets or silk pajamas? I can't remember what he said. And get up and go run on a beach in the cold screaming, war, war. You know what I'm saying? What war? Brother, you ain't got no war. You drive a Bentley. You live in a 10,000 square foot home. You got $100+ million in your bank account. What war? Ain't no war. The only war you got is what we eating today. Surf and turf, or we doing the baked chicken. You know what I'm saying? What are we doing today, bro? What are we doing today, bro? We wearing the silk shirt with the silk pants? Are we wearing linen today? Are we staying home today? Are we going, you know what I'm saying? Are we booking a flight to go to the Caribbean? Are we going, in Greece to go chill out there? What are we doing? I don't know. You know what I'm not doing though? Going to go get punched in my damn head. Like I need to get punched in my head. I don't need it. That's why I did it. Newsflash. You didn't know why I did it? I did it because I needed to do it. Because I was broke. Because my mama was living in the hood. Because my life was hard. Because my money was funny. You heard? That's why I was doing it. You know what I mean? I ain't living like that no more. So what you want me to do? Act like I am? Nah.
And that's the thing. They ain't in the business of doing it.
Yeah. C Cool says, Clay, all the good fighters had money. They still came to the fight to fight all corners, all comers. Listen, some fighters, C Cool, actually believe in boxing, like Roy Jones. You know what I'm saying? Some fighters really came in trying to prove something in boxing. Other fighters came in to save themselves from poverty and their family from poverty. Listen, Tank has said it already. What's the most important the moral factor to what I'm saying today? What I'm saying to you is, without mentally being present, without being motivated to box, it's hard to box. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys, right? If my mind ain't in it, it's hard for me to win it. It's hard because boxing is not a sport you can fight with one foot out the door. So Tank's just being honest with himself and honest to his fan base to say those things that drove Sugar Ray Leonard, that drove you know what I'm saying, maybe a Muhammad Ali or I'm not going to say George Foreman because he came back for the money. You know what I'm saying? He left once he had a situation with Muhammad Ali, right? Like, if you're not that kind of a fighter who's thinking about legacy, it's hard to act like you are. It's hard to act like you are. People want you to fake it until you make it. He has a hard time getting up for these fights because he doesn't care about the legacy. He cares about the money. And the more money he gets, the less use he has for the sport. That's how he thinks. Everybody's not the same. And we have to accept that, understand that people have different things that motivate them, bro. And once those boxes are checked, they're done. Andre Ward left. People were like, oh, but you didn't fight this guy. You didn't fight that. He didn't give a damn. He was good. His family was good. He did enough for himself. He did enough to get himself in the Hall of Fame, and he walked away because he understood the mentality I got right now is dangerous for me. For me to get in the ring thinking the way I'm thinking, I'm going to get hurt. That's why Tank said I don't even want to get the mental health. I don't even want to get the therapy yet because I know, I believe that if I go up in there and they fix me, that thing they fix me of is the thing I use to be the dog I was in the ring. So I'm not even going to go get messed with right now until I'm done with boxing. Boxing has always been a 70+% mental thing and a 30 or less % physical thing. You've been fighting all your life since you were 8 years old, 7, 8, 9 years old fighting, bro. Fighting ain't nothing for you, bro. You do it. You don't even think about it no more, right, Blue? Like, you don't even think about it no more. The challenge every single fight is what, Blue? Getting up mentally.
It's second nature.
Mm-hmm. Right. The challenge is getting up mentally, right?
Right.
People walk around pacing in the back, slapping themselves, calling themselves, you about to do this. What do you think they're doing? Because all that training they got is one thing, but I got to mentally get up every day to be a fighter. Right. And if I can't do it, I need to start thinking about walking away from this game. Yeah, the injuries. Yes, the injuries, but that's part of the Cool. That's part of the danger. He also fought with injuries, right? He fought with injuries for a long time, but he made enough money to where he had to weigh it out and say, I'm not mentally dialed into this sport enough to continue to fight with these injuries. I'm just not there anymore to deal with those challenges. He was doing it already. He didn't get an injury and stop. He had an ongoing injury. Andre Ward was dealing with that injury for a long time, but mentally he was so dialed in, it didn't matter. He worked through it. Just like Shakur Stevenson. Don't be surprised one day when he says, I've made enough money and it ain't worth hurting my hands no more. It ain't worth hurting my hands no more, bro. You know what I mean? What are you going to say? He left the game because of an injury? Well, what about when he fought Josh Padley? What about when he fought all these other fights? What about when he had the hand surgery? Didn't he work through the injuries? Yes, he did. But there'll be a point in time the way he makes enough money to where his family, his daughter he's watching growing up, his wife that he's about to marry, the people who love him, the injuries and the constant not being able to hold and play with his kids will get under his skin. And he'll be weighing it out to be like, how much is it worth for me? And one day he'll walk away from the sport and he'll be done with it at that point because he'll understand I'm mentally tapped out. Physically, I'm not tapped. Andre Ward wasn't physically tapped out. He's already talked about in interviews. He could have continued boxing. He was mentally tapped out. It's not worth it. Right. These injuries I got, everything I'm working through, I'm done with this. It's not worth it.
It's like they always said, it's the rehab and the mentally getting yourself mentally back to a place where you want to go through a whole rehab. You want to go through another train camp. You're like, bro, I'm tired. I don't want to do that.
I'm finished.
I'm finished.
Finished, bro. I'm done with it. You know what I mean? Everybody goes through it, bro.
Yeah. Remember Kobe Bryant, the late, great Kobe Bryant, when he popped his Achilles? Remember he came back, he said, I was angry, I wanted to do it. And then when I saw my daughters and my wife, it domesticated him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, bro, do I want to go through training camp again, rehabbing, doing all this for what?
Yeah.
For what?
Shit, it's the same thing with a job for me.
Right.
I wake up in the morning tired.
Mm-hmm. And
I'm rich. Mm-hmm. Why am I waking up tired, bro? I'm going back to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But you went to work tired every day. Well, right now you just started getting tired? No. Right now I'm rich. That's the difference. Right. I worked through it. I got through it and I did it. I didn't feel like getting up at 4:30 in the morning, you know what I'm saying? And you know, jumping in the shower and I'm walking out my crib and the sun is still down to go make it to work on time. Now I'm rich. I'm going to bed. I'm going back to bed. You heard? I'm going to go do I'm going to offer my salat. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to bed.
Right.
And I'll see you 8-ish, 9-ish. And we'll figure the day out from there.
Salute to Rashard Wilson, brother, back in the super chat. Dropping a Cinco on us in the super chat. He said PBC and top rank finally working together feels like a slap in the face of real boxing fans and all the fights that we would have got. But exactly. Exactly. Yeah. That's the same argument me and Clay was having.
Big facts.
It's like, bro, it's like, bro, now you want to do it? When the fight, the options is limited.
And now people want to celebrate them as if it's not because of Turki.
Right.
Right. Like you want to turn it into all the people who got an issue with Turki not realizing that you should be thanking him because you guys been wanting these guys to do this forever and they would never do it before. And you know already with historical data that they would never have done it. And then you got Bob Arum admitting, we're doing it because of Turki. And it's and now you're looking at it like, we about to get Turki and not looking at it for what it really is, which is, oh, damn, thank you, Turki.
Right. And they just combining forces to try to push Turki out to go back to what they've been doing.
Right.
See, cool brother back in the super chat, dropping a Cinco on us in the super chat. Clay, he's not fighting them because he could lose. Has nothing to do with the boring with being boring. Oh, he's not fighting them because he could lose. He's has nothing to do with it being boring.
Yes and yes. No, yes and no. He can lose because he can lose because he'll have to do something about it being boring.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? That's why he could lose. He can lose because he has to take chances, because he has to make the fight exciting, because he can't be part of boring fights. He can't be boring with them and win the fight on the cards. He could do it. I'm sure he has the ability to do it, but it probably makes his stomach turn into knots and nauseates him to think of even being involved in something like that. So he's going to have to take chances. He's going to have to go out and make it happen. And in the process of doing that, that falls right in their lap with the way they love to fight. And that could be why he could lose.
Yeah. Salute to LT, brother, in the super chat, dropping that Cinco. I want to send super chat. Garcia got stopped by Lara, Errol by Crawford, Fulton by Inoue. If Roach beats Tank again, Stanione stops Boots, and Bivol beats David, PBC hides fighters. Lara is with the PBC, isn't he?
Yeah, Lara's with the PBC. So Garcia got stopped by Lara. Which Garcia?
Anyway.
What Garcia is he talking about?
He's talking about Danny Garcia.
Oh, Danny, right.
Yeah.
Lara's PBC, and so is and Boots is not PBC.
Boots is not PBC.
Right.
Bivol beats David. But that's not gonna happen. That fight's not happening.
Right, that's not happening. I think Bivol. That's another conversation too. I think David about to get frozen out, bro. I think he.
Well, the thing with David's situation is that I don't get it. I don't understand why he would take that route instead of just go ahead and taking the Caleb Smith fight. He's allowing Samson Lickwick to send him astray, right? He's allowing Samson Lickwick to make bad decisions on his behalf, right? And he's the fighter that's going to have to pay the price for it. You know what I mean? And the thing is, I don't get why he let Samson lead him astray, because Caleb Smith fight makes, first of all, Caleb Smith only lost to Canelo and Benavidez.
Right.
So, and he's a former world champion, and he's an interim champion. He's coming off a big win over Buatsi. It makes sense for your legacy and your career, and you're going to get paid. And you automatically beat Caleb Smith. Caleb Smith is a very good win.
Yes, and a very good payday according to Samson Lickowitz.
Right. So you get Caleb Smith under your belt. He was one of the champions at 68 when you was the champion. He only lost to Canelo, and he only lost to Benavidez. You beat him, and you automatically get the winner. That makes sense. Why would you? It makes no sense to strip Bivol. He's still, if you strip or not, he's still gonna fight Benavidez. You gonna be happy with that? Because you wasn't happy. You're not happy with just being appointed a champion. You want the fights. That was evident with forcing the David Morrell fight, the Demetrius Andre fight, right? So why are you going to allow Samson to put you in a position where you can get the best of both worlds? And now you go awarded a title. Your goal is going to be undisputed or to unify the belts, right? So now here's the thing, right, Clay? How I look at it. If I'm Benavidez in this situation, not necessarily Bivol, but just listen to this, right, Clay? If I'm Benavidez and you jerk me out of fighting for undisputed and I beat Bivol, I'm not fighting you now.
Period. If I'm Bivol, I ain't fighting you.
Right.
I'm not. I don't have no reason to. I'm not fighting you.
But definitely Benavidez, it's like, bro, let me get my opportunity.
Right.
I was the undisputed champion.
Right. How I'm not going to get a rematch.
For undisputed?
It's diabolical.
And it's only one fight. It's not like this is the first fight and they got a rematch clause. And you like, hold on, bro. They're going to have two fights. I'm going to be It's one fight. They ain't fighting no more.
Yeah, Samson Lickowitz is toxic in this equation, and it makes you use hindsight to wonder how much of a role he played in David Benavidez not being able to get the Canelo fight. Right? Like he seems like he's working. He seems like he got the different hands in his pockets. that David Benavidez isn't his sole vested interest and most important thing that he's vested in. Looks like he's playing both sides, maybe the PBC side, maybe with Mauricio Suleiman. He's maneuvering and walking around with a smile on his face like he's doing the best thing for his fighters, but it makes no sense. Blue, when you look back and you go back from the moment that David Benavidez actually won his fight against David Morrell, when you look on the point in fact that David Benavidez took the trip to Saudi Arabia, understanding that Bivol and Beterbiev was going to fight, when you get to the point where you understand that David Benavidez picked Bivol to win that fight, he picked him and said, I expect there to be a trilogy. He went to Saudi Arabia expecting that situation. He went there. Turki Al-Sheikh offers him a lucrative deal, quoted by Samson Leikowitz, super lucrative deal to fight Caleb Smith. He does an interview at Saudi Arabia and said he'd be willing to fight Caleb Smith. He think that'd be a great fight. He knew all those things and everything went the way he thought it was going to go. Then all of a sudden he's on an early flight heading back to Florida. Based off what? What happened? And then Samson Leikowitz comes out in an interview and says, oh, we're not playing that game. He did the same. They did. We're not playing the game like what happened with Canelo. Now it's Bivol. By the time that fight's over, there'll be another excuse. Really? Who says it's going to be excuse? Is Turki known for going back on his word? Is that what he does? No, bro. That's not what it is, bro. What it is leverage, control, and it has to do with the rebuilding of a brand of a certain company. There's a brand of a certain company that's trying to build themselves up, and they're not giving up fights with their biggest stars, in this case, David Benavidez and yes, Gervonta Tank Davis. They're not going to allow those guys across the street and make these fights happen. They're not. They're not going to allow that. They're not going to allow that to happen. And the people who win at the end of this is PBC and Samson Leikowitz, who, in my opinion, I'm not going to sit here and make it fact, but I think he's in bed with the PBC deeper than regular. I think he's trying to be part of the rebuilding factor, and I'm telling you, I think he's trying to be the new Leonard Ellerbe. I think he's trying to replace and take that spot and be a face for the PBC as well. And he's trying to get, and he's keeping David Benavidez on the same page as him in the midst of sacrificing this man's career, bro. Because this man has an opportunity. I cannot see David Benavidez, Blue, walking away from an opportunity to beat the man who beat the man he wanted to fight and become an undisputed light heavyweight champion, just to walk around with a WBC title, with an email WBC title around his waist. David Benavidez does not show, he doesn't give me the energy of a fighter who's doing that. If he has an option, character. I think he fights for the belt. That's what he does every time.
Right. That's not his character.
Nah.
His character is not to have some email title and then he's okay with an email title. That's not him.
It doesn't make sense.
No, not at all. So you're gonna accept a title given to you? Come on, man. Just look at this stretch run, right, Clay? If you beat Caleb Plant, Demetrius Andrade, Alexander Gvozdyk, David Morrell, and Caleb Smith, bro, you are top 5 best fighters in the world now. And now you get the winner of the undisputed match? Like, why wouldn't you want that route? I don't get that.
Yeah, I can't believe I 100% believe that that the politics of the sport, and you saw David Benavidez, you saw how they try to steer him. Samson and the PBC try to put him in front of Jesse Hart, bro. That's what they tried to do, bro. And he had to jump out of his, out of his comfort zone. And here's another perfect example, as a matter of fact. Blue, if memory serves me right, you let me know. He had announced that he was trying to fight David Morrell before that Jesse Hart fight and had to retract his statement when they put him in front of Jesse Hart. And then a week or two later was like, nah, bro, we're making the fight happen with David Morrell. And everybody gave David Benavidez the props for making that fight happen, because that wasn't the fight that was going to happen. Why? Mm-hmm. They were trying to steer him, and they were trying to steer the narrative, and they were trying to keep him away from David Morrell, and they wanted him to just make fights. It was a money thing. The profitability of having to pay David Morrell versus paying a Jesse Hart, and David Benavidez had to jump in front of it. And I'm telling you, he needs to jump in front of this situation as well. Don't take that damn email champion, bro. Don't take it. Keep Keep your relationship with Turkey solid. You ain't got to go over there. You don't got to be a Turkey fighter, but get that fight with Caleb Smith. Allow them to fight for undisputed and fight the winner of Better Be Bivol 3 and become an undisputed champion and beat the guy who beat the guy.
Right. Because here's the thing, right? Let's say he gets the belt, right, Clay? He gets the WBC. Well, your end goal is going to be to want to unify the belts, right? Now you got to look at it from a standpoint, why does Turkey and everybody else want to play ball with you? And you got other fighters in line, right? You got Caleb Smith still in line. So now they're gonna play the game. Okay, well, Caleb Smith for the WBO gets his opportunity. You got your belt.
Right. Now you're an undisputed champion and you're in a division where everybody wants to fight you.
Right.
Think about that. You're an undisputed champion in a division where Caleb wants to fight you, where Buatsi wants to fight you, where Anthony Yardy wants to fight you, right? Where Edgar Berlanga may go up to light heavyweight and have to fight you, right? Because that's another thing, by the way. If Edgar Berlanga thinks he's going to get Turkey's attention, there's only one way it's going to happen, brother. I want you to know that right now, bro. Ain't no cherry picks with Turkey. So you might want to be careful what you wish for. You might not want that. You might want to go back to Eddie Hearn, who's going to hook you up and set you up on them fights and make you look good. Because you go over to Turkey, you ain't getting nothing but smoke. And ain't no smoke at 168 that Turkey's interested in. Trust me. So think about that before you walk over there with Turkey. But at the end of the day, with David Benavidez being an undisputed champion in the light heavyweight division, he's going to get the fights, bro. He's going to get the fights, and he's going to have a leverage to make the biggest fights in cruiserweight if he ever feels like doing it. If he ever feels like going to cruiserweight, he'll be a light heavyweight undisputed champion. He'll have all the leverage in the world. You're letting Samson Likowicz trick you out your legacy, bro. He's tricking you out your legacy and convincing you that the key to success is taking this email championship, bro. It's not, bro. You're giving Bivol, you're giving Better BF, and you're giving Turkey all the reason in the world to be petty with you, bro, and do you worse than Canelo ever did you, bro.
And the thing is, Samson would Turkey would respect you to the highest degree because he'll be like, okay, so I respect the fact that you letting us do this trilogy. And you fight on the card. I'm going to pay you. He's going to compensate you. And I'm going to make sure you get the winner.
That's it.
And from moving forward, I'm going to make sure you're good. That's just
what it is.
I don't get it, man.
I get it, but I don't get it from David Benavidez's point of view and Jose Benavidez Sr.'s point of view. I think they're mistaken in believing that they're going to hold this leverage with this WBC title. I think you've mistaken to believe that two former undisputed champions are looking to be undisputed again as bad as you think they are over making money. They've already become undisputed. They're no longer concerned with that. They're concerned with making the money, and the money's with Turkey. So if Turkey's not interested, they're not going to be interested. If Turkey wants Bivol to go up and fight Jayo Pataya, that's where he's going to go. He's going to go up there and go make the money because his legacy is already cemented. He's already undisputed. It's not that important for him. His loyalty is more important at this point. The guy who put him in position to be undisputed and gave him all these big paydays, that's where the concern is at. Trust me. I believe that wholeheartedly, and you should understand that and know that you're not going to get a chance to become undisputed. You're going to fight fights, and you're going to be limited to whatever Samson Likowicz and the PBC can provide for you. You're no longer going to have that option. You're going to burn that bridge just to make Samson look good in front of the PBC.
And another thing, right, Clay? Take this into consideration. If they really want to be spiteful, Bivol don't even fight Caleb Smith. Vacate that belt. Now you even worse position.
Period, bro.
All right, I don't get it. Stephanie D, the queen, she said, I love this channel and other channels like this, but honestly, I don't think channels like this will ever be able to make an impact or change because the boxing world is casual fan dominant. Here's the thing, right, queen? You can't unsee the truth.
Nope.
You can pretend to. You can't unsee the truth. And everything I've said, people can push against it and so on and so forth, but the truth is the truth. You can't unsee this truth. It just is what it is. And I learned that quickly. Salute to Dub C, nephew in the super chat, dropping that dub on us in the super chat. He said Laura PBC, Staney Owners PBC, and Boots was with Cameron Duncan, and now with Matchroom, and their champions lost the most last year. Blue and Clay, look at Bivol manager interview. He says he want Canelo next. Bivol wants Cruiser. What you mean he wants Cruiser?
Like he wants to go up to cruiserweight?
You say he wants Canelo next.
Right. Which one is which?
That don't unless you're saying he wants a cruise control, I don't know. Oh, he wants to go up to cruiserweight? Mm-hmm. Well, that's because they Turkey gonna be like, bro, go up there and fight like Clay just said. The Opataya fight, you know what I'm saying? They want to play games, we'll play games.
Yeah.
Simple. I mean, when I tried to tell people, Clay, when Turkey did that with the WBC belt, is because of this situation.
Right.
This situation is like, bro, what are you doing? This is my whole thing I'm trying to change. Why are you interfering with one fight? Let it be one fight. Don't make no sense, man. And the thing about it is, Benavidez said that. Remember, Benavidez, he said that Turkey said that he would put him on the undercard to build up him versus the winner. So it's not even like.
And he was cool with it.
What
changed?
Right.
That's the whole point, right, Blue? Like, it wasn't David Benavidez who changed his mind.
Right.
It doesn't make sense. He didn't change his mind, bro. His handlers changed their mind, and they decided. And Samson, man, it's we'll see. But to me, the writing's on the wall, but we'll see. We're speculating. It is what it is, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's see how it plays out, man.
No, he would fight Benavidez. He would fight Benavidez. He ain't interested in Zordo at 200 pounds or whatever.
Well, you talking about David Benavidez?
Bivol.
Oh, you talking about Bivol? Yeah.
Yeah. He already beat the brakes off of Zordo.
Let me tell you, if Bivol wins this fight, he's gonna fight Kalen, bro.
And he already said that he would fight David Benavidez. He's contemplating it right now. It's Turkey that said, no. Turkey's like, no, bro, we got to do this trilogy, close this chapter, and then we move on. Remember, Turkey got mad at Bivol, and he was like, he know where his bread is buttered, and essentially.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? He know where his bread is buttered. He know who supported him when nobody else was putting up the money for him. So let him make his decision. But letting you know, make the wrong decision. I'm done with you.
He's gonna fight Kalen, bro.
Yeah.
If he beats Better BF, he's gonna fight Kalen, and then maybe even go up to cruiserweight, and then he's probably gonna retire, bro.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna find it hard to get up in the morning too and train and go in the ring and fight after all that money he has in the account. He's gonna have a hard time doing it, just like every other fighter, bro.
And if he beats Better BF for a second time, it only makes sense to fight Benavidez. Unless you're fighting Canelo rematch to get a big payday.
Or Canelo. Yeah, depending on how the fight goes with him and
and Crawford. Yeah.
Right.
It makes no sense. None. Dub C nephew back in the super chat, dropping another Cinco on us in the super chat. He said they want them to fight in 90 days and they need 6 months. Turkey wants summer. They said October or not fight. They need rest. See, that's what I'm saying. And that's another thing, right? Clay, Turkey wants to get the trilogy over as quickly as possible.
Right.
So that's another thing that don't make sense on the part of Benavidez. Mm-hmm. You ain't even got to wait long. He gonna keep you active. He gonna keep them active. You ain't got to wait long. J King Husky, what's up? Joe Johnson, nephew in the super chat, dropping that Cinco on us in the super chat. Off subject, real quick, I've asked you before, but Clay, this is for you. When did you first fall in love with the sport of boxing?
Fall in love? It was probably Roy. It's probably Roy Jones probably made me like fall in love with boxing. You know what I'm saying? I watched boxing before Roy, but Roy probably was the first. I'd have to say Roy's the one who brought that energy, who brought Method Man to the ring with him. He was just an entertainer at the highest level in the ring. It was Roy. It was Roy. As far as fall in love and watch the sport as close as I watch it, probably Roy, without a doubt. It was Roy.
So for me, it was Larry Holmes, man.
Okay.
Larry Holmes. I was always in and around the sport because of my family. They always had fight parties and so on. Everybody knows my story. But when my uncle, who has now since passed away, he used to talk about Larry Holmes' jab, Larry Holmes' jab, Larry Holmes' jab. And he was a martial artist. And he used to say, I could stop the jab, so he made me focus on the jab, right? The jab was so important, you know what I'm saying? And he used to say, I could counter your jab with my martial arts. And his close friend was a Golden Glove boxer. And so they always talked about that. And so that made me pay attention to Larry Holmes, right? And he used to say, the Eastern Assassin. My uncle used to say, the Eastern Assassin, the Eastern Assassin. And so I started paying attention to Larry Holmes, and he became my favorite heavyweight because of that, right? The Eastern Assassin, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And from that point forward, it just, hence the reason why I always favor and love pure boxers, because of that was my first real attachment. I never was a fan of Mike Tyson. I was a fan of Mike Tyson because he was exciting and he was from New York. So I supported him. But he was never like my favorite fighter. I always liked Riddick Bowe in that era. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like Riddick too.
I love Riddick Bowe, man. Big Daddy Bowe, because he was a thumper, but he was a pure boxer thumper. He was a boxer puncher. You know what I'm saying? Set the jab up combinations for a big dude like that. Right. Beautiful, beautiful. So Riddick Bowe was my guy. And, if you just look at my favorite fighters, Pernell Whitaker, Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd Mayweather, Roy Jones. Roy Jones is the only anomaly in my favorite fighters. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He's the only anomaly. Everybody else is just pure boxers. You know what I'm saying? Juan Manuel Marquez, Salvador Sanchez, Floyd Mayweather, Pernell Whitaker, Sugar Ray Leonard, Larry Holmes. Those are my favorite fighters all time.
Right.
And what they all have something in common. They're pure boxers. You know what I mean?
Right.
I always loved the fact that my uncle used to say, I used to watch them in the backyard and they would be going hard. And he was one of the first people I heard say, make you miss in a phone booth. You know what I'm saying? Right here, up close and personal. You know what I'm saying? And I make you miss right here in the phone booth. So I always liked hand-to-hand combat. I always liked the not the whole brawling part, just you know what I'm saying, bang, bang, bang. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to interview Riddick Bowe because he just can't understand him. So I have his people. I got his number and all that. Kawhi Elliott, what's up? But it's just hard to understand what he's saying. So it's like Rich Porter, what's up, family? So that was mine. That was always mine. But let's move on to this, right, Clay? Jerron Ennis fights next Saturday.
Right.
I believe we both favor him to win this fight against Stanionis, which would make him, and again, as we saw with Tank and Lamont Roach and many other fights in the past, nothing is a foregone conclusion. But just looking at it from the standpoint, we expect him to win, right? And in expecting him to win, what's next? Is he now in a situation where he has to fight Brian Norman Jr. next, or he can go into a more of a celebrity, more of a Popular. What's the word I'm looking for? More of a commercial fight.
Right. More money fight.
More of a money fight, right?
Yeah.
Or does it have to be Brian Norman Jr.? Right? You want to go first or I'll go first?
I think it can go both ways. I think right now the most important thing to Brian Norman, to Jerome Boots Ennis is earning his title. He wants to unify. He wants to be the champion. He hasn't done that yet. He got the email champion. Funny enough, we were just talking about David Benavidez getting ready to pick up an email title, right? So that's his priority right now. After he wins that fight, his priorities may change a little bit. He may still want undisputed, but if Eddie Hearns can deliver it the best. I think Eddie Hearns wants Boots to work with Turki. He doesn't want to constantly be in the middle of him and Turki giving Turki bad news. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wants to represent Boots in his best interest. He believes his best interest is to align himself with Turki, but Boots is trying to make fights that Turki's not interested in making. We clearly know that there's a path for Boots to get to the money because Turki's bringing up the Teofimo situation. Keep in mind, of course, Teofimo has his own work ahead of him. He still has to get through Honor Barbosa. But on the back end of winning against an Honor Barbosa, that would be a big fight for Boots, a fight to have on his resume. It would help his commercial value go up that much more, and he'd make a whole lot of money. Brian Norman Jr. is always going to be there at 147. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. He's not trying to go to 154, and there's other fights for him to make. He can fight Mario Barrios now with this new friendship between the PBC and Top Rank, and he can unify there, and he'll be there, and the fight will be even bigger if he is able to take a belt off of Mario Barrios. So there's a part of me that feels like Boots will go ahead and rock with Eddie Hearn this time around. Respect the fact that Eddie went ahead and gave Turki plenty of bad news. You walked away from a Virgil Ortiz fight. You didn't go up to 154. Turki was still patient. And now you're getting ready to fight Stanionis. I got you this unification title fight. No more IBF rehydration clauses. But how many more times can we continue to say no to Turki and continue pushing it that way? There's incentive in there for Boots to fight Teofimo if Teofimo does what he has to do. But at the same time, if Boots is also, if his pride is on his shoulder, is on his sleeve, and he's still very interested in unifying, and he wants to shut Brian Norman up because Brian Norman Sr. was talking crazy, and maybe Jr. was a little bit as well, he may go ahead and say, F it, I want to fight Brian Norman. What should he do? I think he should fight Teo. What will he do? I don't know. I really don't know what he will do because I could see him going either way for different reasons.
So for me, I think that he has to fight Brian Norman Jr. And the reason that I said he has to fight Brian Norman Jr. is because he made it a point to stay at welterweight to fight for the unification and for the unified belts, right? Now, right, Clay, the rehydration is no longer in effect because we're talking in the future, right? So that means he beats Stanionis. That means he's the unified champion, which means the IBF 10-pound rehydration clause is out the window. That rule no longer exists. And if you don't fight Brian Norman Jr., you have to be leaving the division to fight a Virgil Ortiz. Now, if that's the case, completely understand. I completely get it, right? If you go in it, if you say, all right, I did it, I unified the belts, I actually beat a champion, because that's one of his hangups, right? Is that I've never beaten a champion for his belt. I was given the belt, and I don't like that feeling, right? So I want to beat a champion for a belt, and I get to unify the belts. But he's also steadfast on saying that he wants to stay at 147, carve out his own niche, become undisputed at 47, and then move on to bigger and better things at 54. I personally think that, right, Clay, that he can actually become undisputed this year. And what I mean by that is that he's going to fight next Saturday, April 12th.
Right. Mm-hmm.
He could fight Brian Norman. He wasn't even in the fight, right?
Right.
So they could fight in the summertime.
Right.
They could fight in late July, right? And let's say he beats Brian Norman. Well, guess what? Now he could fight Mario Barrios in December.
Yeah, but that Mario Barrios fight's easier said than done, man.
It is easier said than done.
Yeah.
Right. Because we don't know if the PBC and Mario Barrios is going to allow that to happen.
I don't think they will. They won't allow Turki to get undisputed.
I don't think
they won't let him have that.
But let's just say hypothetically, right? You fight Brian Norman. Now you have more reason to leave the division. You understand what I'm saying, Clay? If you fight Brian Norman, you beat him in, let's say, July, right? And now you chasing Barrios. Hey, bro, what's up? I got these 3 belts. I want to be undisputed. What we doing? Barrios said no, PBC playing games. Now you say, hey, bro, I'm leaving.
Right.
It's more justifiable, right? Because now you develop history with Brian Norman.
Right. More
so than with anybody else right now, right? Like it's almost becoming his biggest rival right now.
Right.
Right. So you develop this history. Brian Norman, they ain't gonna let PBs, they ain't gonna let Top Rank and nobody standing away from making that fight. Mm-hmm. We know that. One thing for certain, 2 things for sure. The Normans ain't trying to hear us, you blocking us from fighting Boots and unifying these belts. They ain't gonna play they ain't gonna let you play the politic game with them. That's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, you can make this fight happen. And Virgil Ortiz said he's taking time off, right? He's taking time off and so on and so forth. So he ain't even gonna be unless Turki is pushing for that. But like you said, the Teofimo Lopez fight, understand, but this fight is still at 140. So he ain't even make his debut at 47 yet, Teofimo Lopez. So you can push and tell Turki, hey, listen, let's push this off. Let me get this Brian Norman unification bout. Mm-hmm. If I can't get, because you just tell Turki, just give me the rest of this year. Tax tag, what's up? I want to get Brian Norman in the summer. And then if I could beat Brian Norman, obviously they expect to beat Brian Norman. We beat Brian Norman, and then we fight Barrios, try to get Barrios. If we can't, then we do whatever you want. We fight Teofimo Lopez before the year is up.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Let me set out to let me achieve the goal I set out to do from the very beginning. If I can't get Brian Norman, you know you're gonna get that. That's right, that's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? After that, I can't get this one, I can't get that one. Cool. All right, Turki, what you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like you can't leave food on the plate. You can't leave meat on the bone. You can't say that you wanted to be undisputed in this weight class and now you're leaving meat on the bone. You know what I'm saying? That's just my take. But what you think?
I just think that I just think that Brian Norman, like what's his name, Jin Sasaki, I could see Bob Arum talking him into making that fight happen. Like, go ahead and fight Jin Sasaki. Go to Japan. Go fight on the you know what I'm saying, on a big undercard, maybe a Monster Inoue undercard. When he goes to fight MJ, fight on that undercard. Fight in front of 40,000 people, 30,000+ people inside of the building. Build your brand up. Get some more fights under your belt. We're confident you're going to win that fight. Let Boots go ahead and fight his fight with Teofimo and make that happen. And then that fight, I just think that Brian Norman fight is just always going to be there. It's not going anywhere unless Brian Norman loses. You know what I'm saying? And even if he loses to, let's say, Jin Sasaki, I think Jin Sasaki fighting Boots too, because he's from Japan, bro, and they just gonna put their heart on his sleeve. He's gonna go for the legacy. He's gonna go for a unification and trying to be undisputed. He'll do it. I don't know, man. This is where I feel like it's at, to be honest with you. I think it's all dependent on Tio and what Tio's able to do with Arnold Barbosa. But I feel like Boots being on another opposite side of the conversation with Turki Al-Sheikh is not what Eddie Hearn wants. And I think Eddie Hearns will work everything he can in his power to convince Boots to go in another direction. And Boots might just go in that direction. Eddie Hearn can sell it to him and make it make sense and say, listen, man, you're here already. You're unified. It's not going to be hard for you to make these other fights anymore. Don't get on Turki's bad side. Don't make Turki give up on what you're doing. Don't continue to kick this can down the road. Fight this one for Turki, man. Make the payday. Help Turki out, and Turki's going to help you out. And he'll put the bag behind you, unifying with Brian Norman either, as well. There's a whole lot of opportunities there for you as a prize fighter who is now a unified champion. Brian Norman is not going anywhere. He will be there. He's not going nowhere. He'll be there to fight. And you'll build your brand up even more with Teofimo. And right from there, after you beat Teofimo, it makes the Brian Norman fight even bigger. That's what I think.
Oh, 1,000%. I can see that too. You know, I just think for Boots in his career, because I feel like this, right? I feel like Boots is somebody that has a plan, has a goal, and he don't like to deviate from it. You know what I'm saying? He feel unaccomplished if he don't fulfill what he initially set out to do. And I think that if he don't fight Brian Norman, he don't become the unified 3-belt champion 147, he gonna still feel unaccomplished.
If he's gonna feel unaccomplished, he's doing that fight. If Boots needs that fight, he's gonna fight that fight. If it's, you know what I mean, if he's checking the boxes you're talking about, as far as his legacy, as far as what he needs, he's gonna do what he needs. But if he's from what he said, he just wants to fight for his belt. If Boots doesn't believe he's going to become undisputed at 147, the only reason to fight Brian Norman Jr. is to shut him up. That's the only reason to fight him. You know what I'm saying? Because unified is unified. If he believes he can get to undisputed, then it becomes paramount that he fights Brian Norman. But if it's just to shut Brian Norman up, he can do that anytime, bro. He can do that anytime. And I don't know if he feels it necessary to even shut him up that much. I don't know if he feels that way. Dub says that, I guess, information came out about Majimov having a respiratory virus against Virgil. I told y'all that's what it was. Didn't I tell y'all? I told y'all that man couldn't breathe after round 4. That's why he couldn't do that irky-jerky stuff that he did with Terrence Crawford. He couldn't do it. That's why he got tired and he started fighting that mid-range inside game and getting dominated by Virgil Ortiz. He couldn't move no more. He couldn't breathe. You've seen him breathing through his mouth in between rounds in round 4. He changed the whole game plan from there. I knew that's what it was. I've been said that.
Yeah, we knew that. We knew that to be the case.
Yeah, I knew he was dealing with that respiratory infection, bro. He didn't heal from it. The respiratory infection, the pneumonia he had when he didn't fight Bohachuk was real. It wasn't a play to just to make him be there for the Majimov fight. It was because he was really sick. Yep. I knew it. Did you see? Well, first of all, what do you think about Shushu?
Shushu is entertaining. I think Shushu, I'm starting to have an issue where I'm feeling like Shushu is starting to fight to the level of his competition. And I think that he's bored with these fights. You know what I'm saying? He needs to get on to the bigger and better fights. You know what I'm saying? I think we're not getting the full version of who Shushu is and what he can do, because he's not in the biggest fights, right? He's going to be the constant profession, right? But I just feel like he's, at times I feel like in these fights, right, Clay, he's going through the motions almost, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's getting hit, you know what I mean? It's like he's going, it's like almost like Boots. Almost like Boots, right? It's like why is he, I don't know, man. I just feel like he's just, it's time for him to be in the bigger fights. You know what I mean? It's time for him to show. I think these fights are just now they're consistently being repetitive. It's like Boots with the same old styles of fights. You know what I'm saying? The aggressive Mexican fighters, that come forward and that's rough and tough and rugged and same. It's just repeating itself. You know what I'm saying? And I think that now it's time for Shushu to finally get his opportunity for a belt. Finally move up to that next level because people don't even realize that he's like going on 29 years old.
He's going 28.
Huh?
He'll be 28 next week.
I thought he was already 28.
Oh, maybe he is. Hold on, let me check. I thought he was. I know his birthday next week. We got the same birthday. Hold on a second. Bruce, how old are you, Bruce? What the hell? No, Bruce is 27 right now.
Oh, he's 27? Okay.
He'll be 28 next week. Yep.
So, yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just time for him to get his opportunity. You know what I mean? Like, again, like, even 28, he's going to be 28.
Yeah.
He older than Boots, Clay.
Yeah, he a grown man. People sleep on Shushu. They look at him like he a little kid, like he Abdullah or he Emiliano or he part of that. No, he's a grown man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Clay. He's older than Shakur. He's older than Boots.
Yeah.
And he has not gotten the opportunity, bro. It's like, bro, it's past due. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, what are we doing? It's way past due for him to get his opportunity. We're way past due for him to get his opportunity, man.
Yeah, I think. Listen, man, I think Shushu, low key. I think Shushu might be the best 126 pounder right now.
I think so too.
He just needs an opportunity. I know people are talking about him calling out Rafael Espinosa, and he's calling out everybody. Man, I think it's clear though he understands that there's a bag involved with fighting Nick Ball, and there's a amount of notoriety involved with fighting a Stephen Fulton, somebody who's tried to, and also having that common opponent with Monster Inoue. It would be a good fight for him to fight Stephen Fulton. Fighting Rafael Espinosa just gets him a title, and it's there for him to get that WBO title off of Rafael Espinosa. But all the fights make sense. I also think the biggest fight that could be made, one of the biggest fights that could be made right now that people aren't talking about, I'm talking about fight of the year candidate, is Shushu Carrington versus Rafael Espinosa. I think that's one of the biggest fights. That's the fight that you didn't know you wanted to see. When it happens, you realize that's Serhii Bahachuk, Virgil Ortiz written all over that fight, bro. All over that fight. So Shushu's in a great position right now, and he's in a title hunt, and he's not fighting nothing less, nor should he fight nothing less in the title for his next fight. Don't fight not another fight, bro, but for a title. Whether it be Nick, whether it be Angelo, whether it be Rafael Espinosa. But what I already heard, I said Angelo. Am I right? Yeah, Angelo. I heard that they're lining up a fight between him and Ray Vargas.
Yeah, I heard that too. But does Ray have a belt?
Ray's a WBC champion.
Oh, yeah, he's the WBC champion.
He'll be the champion.
I like it.
And Stephen and Stephen Fulton is going to 130 to go fight O'Shaki.
Right. I like that. Just anybody at this point, Clay.
Yeah, his next fight's going to be a good fight. His next fight's going to be for it.
I feel bad for him, bro. Like the Stephen Fulton fight seemed. I love that fight for him, right? Because Fulton is the biggest name, right?
Right.
Out of all of those guys that we just mentioned, right? He's the most recognizable name out of all the guys we just mentioned, right? Mm-hmm. So I love the opportunity to see him fight Cool Boy Steph. And Cool Boy Steph is leaving the division is bogus to me.
Talk about it.
That's so bogus to me, right? To fight O'Shaquie Foster. I want to see O'Shaquie Foster fight against
Emmanuel Navarrete.
Navarrete. Unify the belts, right? Like, what are we doing? Boxing always take one step forward. L Dub, the boxing plug in the building. He said Ray Vargas is champion recess. Okay.
Yeah, he's WBC champion in recess. Dub, Boots is not older than Shushu. Shushu's older than Boots. Shushu will be 28 years old next week. Boots will be 28 years old in June.
Yeah. Hoodie Smoke, what's up, family? Where you been at, bro? So you know what I'm saying? Like, I just think that it's way overdue. You know what I'm saying? It's way overdue.
Yeah.
It's way overdue, Clay. It's like, bro, like, what are we doing at this point, bro?
I think that me and Ray were talking about a little bit earlier, and I think that I think Stephen Fulton is having a hard time making these weights at 126, and the same way he's at 122. I think he wants to be up there at 130. I think he's having a hard time. I think he's having a hard time making that weight. And he got clipped when he fought against Castro. I never get this guy's first name. What was it that he fought? I hate doing that, man. Let me just get this guy's name.
Yeah. The fight before the Figueroa fight.
Right. It was against Carlos Castro. He got clipped and put down in round 5. You know what I'm saying? And, I think he's just a little punchy. I think a lot of these fighters are starting to understand the value of fighting closer to the weight classes they're supposed to be in. A lot of these guys are weight draining themselves and trying to be weight bullies. And when they get in the ring with a puncher in that division, their head, their brain is touching their skull. You know what I mean? They're going through it. And I think Stephen Fulton felt that when he fought against Carlos Castro. And I'll be real with you. I think he felt it when he fought against Brandon Figueroa. He just, took it well and he dealt with it. But I think in his mind, he I need to get about this division. Let's not forget, Stephen Fulton was talking about going to 130. Carlos Castro was just supposed to be like a get back busy fight. Like, he was supposed to be Carlos Castro, and then he was supposed to be going to 130. But then they offered him an actual title fight with Brandon Figueroa because Ray Vargas went into recess. So he said, F it, I'm going to take it. But in reality, he was always planning on going to 130. Now that he has a WBC title that he can leverage at 130, it looks like he's taking that option to make that fight happen. I definitely would have loved to see him fight Shushu and fight at 126. But at the same time, I kind of understand why he went up to 130. It is what it is.
Salute to Shane Colton, brother in the super chat. Much love, family.
Yeah, no doubt, L Dub, for sure.
Appreciate you,
right there. Carlos. Dub said Carlos. My bad. I missed it, Dub. You right. Salute, King.
Peace and blessings to the queen, Cameron Fields. She's in the building in the super chat, dropping that dub on us in the super chat. She said, salute, Blue and Clay. Those watching in the shadows, step in the light, Caroline, and smash the like button. The math ain't mathing. Yeah, I get so, I got so tired of saying it. I don't even, it's like, bro, at this point in time, for 8 years, you should already know. Acondo Samuel Son, what's up, family? Hoodie Smoke, my brother in the super chat, dropping that Cinco on us in the super chat, doing that Good Times theme song thing, Blue, scratching and surviving. I hear you. I hear you. Salute. Jafari Caesar, what's up, family? Clay, you don't need to box rec or Google when I'm in the building.
No doubt, bro. No doubt, man. No doubt.
The boxing plug, man.
Point taken. From now on, I'm like, yo, Dub, who was it that he fought again? No doubt.
No, that the boxing plug be on point, boy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
1000% he be on point.
That is a major fact. So, Blue, we gonna talk about it. William Zepeda the
Duck
guy,
Master.
the Duck Master.
This dude is the duck of all ducks.
I mean, once again, another handler, another manager moving a fighter to his own detriment, bro. Hurting his fighter, thinking he's protecting his fighter, bro. Making William Zepeda look the way he's making William Zepeda look. It's ridiculous at this point. And then now you see they put him in the WBA rankings, bro. They put him there at number 1 in the WBA rankings, bro. Diabolical, bro.
They'll call them StreamYard Duck Zepeda.
Yo, insane, Dub. Insane what they doing with him. Now they trying to put him in the way. They're trying to put him in Tank's lane. They're trying to sell a fight. William Zepeda versus Tank, bro. That's what they're doing, bro. They'd rather fight Tank.
It's beyond outrageous. It's beyond outrageous. It's beyond outrageous. It's like, when has the champion have to chase down the mandatory challenger? When? When is this a thing? Why is this a thing?
The man has an interim WBC title around his waist, bro. He has an interim title around his waist.
It's so bizarre. Like, bro, just what are we doing? Just take the belt from him, bro.
This is the corruption. This is the corruption that they're talking about in this sport, bro. It don't make no sense. And shout out to Shakur, man, because he might as well just move. Shakur might as well move to the UK, bro, and go make a fight with Mark Chamberlain, bro, and go make fights with the fighters who want to fight at 135, and the stars over there in the UK make the biggest bags with Turki Al-Sheikh, and just straight up be done with the American boxing scene, because none of these fighters want to fight him, bro. None of them want to fight him, bro. Floyd Schofield Jr., he caught the bubonic plague. You know what I'm saying? In Saudi Arabia, he couldn't make the fight. William Zepeda ducking him back to back to back. Tank won't send him an offer for nothing. I mean, what do you want? The man has bad hands, bro, and you guys ain't trying to fight him. He got bad hands. Oh, he is? Finally, Mark is getting back into action. Beautiful, Dub. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Mark Chamberlain is fighting this weekend on the Joyce Hargrove. Oh, he is?
The Ergovich and Joyce card. Yeah, bro. Mark Chamberlain will be a great fight for Shakur. Mark Chamberlain's a great fighter. He'd be a great fight for Shakur. And I'm sure Turki will give him a nice bag, because Mark Chamberlain is, if he's not Turki's favorite fighter, he's his second favorite fighter to Terrence. Turki loves Mark Chamberlain. He will pay Shakur handsomely for that fight at 135.
It's truly sad. It's truly sad, right, Clay, that this is happening to Shakur Stevenson. It's truly sad.
He's truly the boogeyman, and the thing about it that's sad is he can't make no money off not fighting, right? So although it says a lot about him, saying that people are ultimately at this point scared of Shakur Stevenson, and I know it's hard for people to believe that somebody with bad hands can make anybody scared, but I think seeing is believing. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we need to. Seeing is definitely believing. You're watching it happen in real time. But he can't get paid. And he's sitting here waiting, and he's trying to make these big fights happen with the fighters he's supposed to be fighting here in America, but they don't want to fight him. I'm telling you, man, he should go to UK. He should go buy a crib in the UK, move his family out there, and he should go out there and fight and be an international boxer, bro, on the big stage, bro. And maybe he can earn enough respect, make enough money, be enough of a cash cow, be enough of a payday to where fighters will just be willing to come to England or, you know, call him out, and then he can make the fights happen. There's not too much left for Shakur to do to make a fight. It's just not going to happen. Fighters just don't want to fight him. There's nothing else for him. You feel what I'm saying, Blue? Like, what else can he do? Go maybe walk up to one of these guys after their match and slap him dead in their face, and piss them off? I don't know. If that's the only thing left to do. He's done everything in his power, bro. There's nothing left for him to do to make these fights happen. They're just not going to happen, and he can't wait around and not be active. So what's his options?
He got a belt. They said get a belt. He got a belt.
He's not going to fight Keyshawn. He's not going to fight Loma, because Loma's not going to doesn't look like Loma's coming back.
Loma can't even fight.
Right. You know what I mean? Will he fight maybe the winner between Remy Moratala and Zaro Abdullaev? Maybe, if Bob Arum gets on board with that. But, you know, Bob don't. If Bob ain't feeling it, ain't happening.
It's just nasty work. Big Herm, my brother in the super chat. He said, can Devin really dominate at 147 or a normal guy? Or is he going to be a normal guy at 147? Devin can dominate at 147. Outside of Boots. Boots is going to be, and Brian Norman. Outside of them, that's it. You know, I don't think that nobody else, all their styles is tailor-made for him, right? Mario Barrios, Stanionis, right? Those flat-footed stuff, his pure boxing ability, their styles is tailor-made for him. So I think that, you know, yeah, he can dominate those guys. He beats Ryan Garcia. I mean, that would push his confidence so through the roof, Clay. It won't even be funny.
Oh yeah, he beats Ryan Garcia, bro. He's a better fighter than he was before he fought Ryan Garcia. He's gone through hell. He becomes a better fighter.
Right.
He doesn't go back to what he used to be. He elevates.
Right.
In front of your eyes. I think there was a little bit of nervous energy about Devin going to 147 and fighting up there. I think there was. I don't, you know what I mean? And, you know, that's just what I believe. I believe there was nervous energy there and wanting him to be at 140, wanting him to be at 135 and making him go through that rather than he probably should have started at 140. I mean, he became undisputed at 135, right? So, I mean, that it wasn't in vain. But I do think what ended up happening is I think Devin ability to absorb shots suffered. And I think he got hurt a lot at 135. Even in the fights that he won. And I think he had a great fight at 140 with Regis Prograis. But I think ultimately he's been fighting at a low weight class for a while. I remember when we had Mickey Bay up here and he was trying to sell to us that nah, Devin isn't really a 140 fighter. And I was sitting there like, I don't think so, bro. But I mean, you in the gym with him, but you remember? Right. And I was like, that man need to go to 147. He was like, nah, I don't know if he was trying to sell us a dream because he didn't want to give it up that he was moving to 147 or if he really felt that way. But it's like the way Devin looks in the gym, I know Devin ain't up in there sparring and training at no 140 pounds. He's probably up in there like a solid 160, 155. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's looking good to you. When he cuts down to 140, he's depleted. So I think what we're going to see with him at 147 is going to be a fighter who I think he's going to be stronger, without a doubt, number one. But I also think he's going to be able to take a shot better. And I think that makes a difference. And I think that question is in the air for him and for us as fans who want to see it. But that's a question that needs to be answered. But if he can take a shot at 147, he's going to be a threat for everybody at 147. I don't care who it is. Because Devin's just not the type of person to sit there and get punched on. But if he can get hit because you can't stand in the rain and not get wet, you know what I'm saying? Like it's going to happen. If he could take a shot, everything else he has all the intangibles to be the fighter that he was, you know, predicted to be, that he was, you know what I mean, the fighter that
he was projected to be,
projected to be, exactly. He has all that. It's just about his ability to absorb shots. That's what happened with him and Ryan Garcia. I mean, outside of getting clipped and knocked down, he beat Garcia in every category except for when he got clipped. He got clipped, he got hurt. You know what I'm saying? It hurt him. And I think a lot of that has to do with the brain being the last thing to hydrate. You know what I mean? When you cut all that weight, you cut all that water out your body, you can get the water in your body and look like you're good, but the brain takes more time. It takes more time to get that water around it. And I think he was just getting clipped and just had no punch resistance. I think his punch resistance, I'm hoping for his sake that's what it was, right? But we'll see when he fights against Jose Ramirez. But that picture we just saw of him recently in the gym, he looked like you know
a monster.
I mean? He looked like a monster, bro. And you hear about Devin Haney having wars in sparring and looking like, I remember there was a guy who said they saw Devin Haney sparring to get ready for the Ryan Garcia fight. And Zab was going around telling everybody, Devin's going to stop Ryan because of the way he was looking in the gym. They said he was in there sparring middleweights, bro, and doing them dirty. You know what I'm saying? But he gets in the ring and it's different.
Let's not forget, Clay, he hurt Ryan a few times.
Yeah. He has the power, and they've seen him in the gym They see him work in the gym, but they're looking at a completely hydrated, strong Devin Haney. They're not looking at a Devin Haney that done cut 15 pounds to fight. And I think they slept on that. You know what I'm saying? I think they just really slept on that. And that last weight cut he had against Ryan Garcia was really a bad weight cut. You saw it the day before at the weigh-ins. He had the raccoon eyes. He had the sunglasses looking like Morpheus and everything like that. He wasn't doing that for no other reason but to hide them raccoon eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's why he was doing it. And I'm interested in seeing him at 144. I think he's going to look good. I think he's going to look better. And I think at 147, he's going to be a different fighter is what I'm hoping for. And I'm going to say hope because I don't know until I see it. You know what I mean? But let's see.
Right. Salute to Jeffrey Henderson, brother in the super chat, dropping that dub on us in the super chat. Uh-oh. I hit the wrong button.
Yeah, that was it. You I think the super chat ran away from you.
Yeah, man. I don't think Boots and Devin is going to fight. I think Boots will be out the division.
100%.
I don't think he'll be there. I don't think he'll be around.
He'll leave. What'd you think of Tiger Johnson? Did you see him?
Yeah. I love Tiger Johnson.
Yo, he looked good at 147, bro. Listen, man, he looked good at 147. There's some fights there to be made. There's some fights there to be made for him. 147 is starting to resurge, man. Quietly it's happening. And shout out, I think somebody hollered Rohan Polanco, another fighter, bro. Another fighter at 147.
It's another division that you just can't keep down, right?
Nah.
The 47-pound glamour division, you just can't keep it down. It's so easy to get fighters to fight at 147 around the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's like a common place, right? Where and middleweight, right? Like where heavyweight, you got athletes that are now like, you know what, I'm gonna play football, I'm gonna play basketball, I'm gonna play, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Those tweeners that can't play football, can't play basketball, you know what I'm saying? But in between the athletes, they fit in these divisions. And so the welterweight division always resurfaces and is building back up again.
Right.
It's building back up. It's trending back in the right direction once again.
It definitely is. And shout out Rashidi Ellis too. Yup, Urban Stash. Rashidi Ellis is definitely another welterweight that can do work down there. It's coming full circle, man. The division's getting nice and very, very interesting. And I think Boots is gonna do his thing, unify. As soon as he hits that wall of Mario Barrios who don't want to fight him, he's probably gonna go ahead and bounce up to 154 and go do his thing up there. And it's gonna be left to the Ryan Garcias, the Teofimos, the Devin Haneys, the and another person who needs to go to 154 is Jaleel Hackett. I think he needs to head up that way, but we'll see how long it takes for him to figure that out on his own. But you know, the Tiger Johnsons, the Rohan Polancos, the Rashidi Ellises, these fighters are at 147, you know, stirring it up. Stanionis, I think, will stay at 147. He'll fight again. Even Karen, we're talking about Karen. I think Karen's going to be in the conversation doing this thing as well. I think 147 is going to be all right, man. It's gonna make his return. Yo, salute to Fight Sports Talk in the building, man. Salute, King.
Salute, Fight Sports Talk. Salute, Todd Prince 600, my brother in the super chat. He said, not to mention a ped up Austrian cheating Ryan. Yeah, that's another thing, right? It's a lot, and missing weight. Big Herm, brother in the super chat. Did Devin spar Barrios in Vegas? Did he?
Spanked him, right?
Ashby, what's up, family? Huh?
Spanked him? Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, Devin just played at those low weights too long, bro. He stayed too long down there, man. He did.
Yeah, he thrashed Mario Barrios in sparring.
If Ryan would have just kept it 100 and just been like, I ain't trying to fight at 140, let's do the catch weight, I think Devin would have done it, bro. Because I think even for Devin, cutting that weight was a submission. I think it was just diabolical, the deception, you know what I'm saying, from Ryan, the way he carried it. I think that fight could have been done at a weight that was fair to him and Devin. Where Devin, I think Devin would have took it like, yeah, let's do it like that, because it was always a money fight. And my belt ain't on the line. Yeah, let's go ahead and fight 143, 144, whatever you feel like it. Let's make it happen. I don't gotta cut this weight. Let's make it happen. But it'll happen now.
And I think that it's even better that's gonna happen at 47.
Yep. Way better for Devin. Way better.
For both of them, right?
Right. Well, better for Ryan for sure. What do you think? You know, people give me pushback on Ryan Garcia right now because I'm just respecting his poise. I'm respecting his. I like the poise, Blue. I'm not gonna lie to you. He said things that insulted our race. I'm Muslim. He insulted Muslims. He talked about doing dirt to George Floyd, the diabolical. You know what I'm saying? And that's another conversation, right? Like that's something that he doesn't just get. I don't forgive him for all of that, just like that. You know what I mean? But as far as boxing is concerned, boxing benefits from a poised, committed, present Ryan Garcia. For somebody who's focused on boxing. Boxing benefits. Better fights happen. Bigger shows happen. You know,
you need villains. You need villains.
100%. 100%.
Villains are good. You can't have superhero movies without villains.
100%.
So Ryan Garcia, and I know what you mean. I know what you're getting at, right? It's you solely talking about the sport itself.
That's it. Just boxing, just off the strength of stylistically fun fights to watch. Ryan Garcia, a committed, focused Ryan Garcia, is a fun boxer to watch fight, bro, against the right fights. And without the antics, it removes the whole entire stigma of what we don't know what to expect. Knowing what to expect from Ryan Garcia and knowing that he's committed, Ryan Garcia being a champion at 147 is a good thing for 147. It's a good thing.
I like Ryan Garcia is good for boxing.
Right.
Makes good theatrics, right? It is do I like him? No. Right. Do I like what he said? No.
Oh, no.
But that's not how, again, like I said with Tank, I don't know Ryan Garcia for anything else other than boxing. T-Buzz, what's up, family? 8, what's up? So I'm solely talking about Ryan Garcia as a boxer. You know what I'm saying? Like you're referring to. And the more the merrier.
100%.
Right? I want to see the black fighters put them paws on them. DVJ 600, what's up? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to see the black fighters put the paws on them.
Yeah, I want to see Devin put paws on him. I want to see more. I want to see Boots put paws on him. Shoot, there's parts of me. I low key have a secret money fight for Terrence Ryan. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's a low key fight right there for Terrence after Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Win or lose. You know what I'm saying? Go fight Terrence Ryan and get that bag.
I don't like him. I don't support him. I don't do any of those things. But as a character in the sport of boxing, and to give us an opportunity to see a black fight, the best part about this, Clay, is we could legally see a black man put hands on him.
Yeah, I tell people it's the dance partner. So you need the dance partner. It was like the movie with Dr. Glass in Invincible. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, Samuel Davis's character was cringe. Like, oh, I don't like that dude. The way he carrying it, the way he's always acting. But dog, Bruce Willis's character wouldn't have been nothing without Samuel's character, right? You need that. You need that villain. You need the opposite side. That every hero needs the villain, man. He's the villain. Right. Ryan is the villain. He's the villain who can box. He's talked a lot of crap. He's you know, at times he just does weird stuff, but if he's committed to boxing, then he removes the antics. Because when he's all antic driven, I'm not entertained. I don't want to see him even fight when he's doing all that stuff.
Right. He's a nasty, ugly villain.
Yeah. When he's sitting there being like too gimmicky, he's drinking and smoking, and talking about, you know, trafficking of children and, you know what I mean, and all types of, you know, when he's doing that I don't want to see it.
It's off the wall.
Right. But when he's quiet and he's focused and he's like, yo, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do this, I'm all for it, man. Let's see it happen.
Yep. Peace, blessings to the chocolate drop, making 50% of the queens of the ring. Nick J, she's in the building.
Yeah. Peace of the queen.
She said, that's cool when the bosses keep it bossing. Once they dive into BS, I can't support nothing about them. She said, dance with T.O. See, that's the thing, right, Queen? I don't want to see him dance with T.O. I want to see him dance with a black fighter. And I want to see T.O. dance with a black fighter. So the black fighters get to put them paws on.
Yeah.
I don't get nothing out of seeing them fight each other.
I'll watch it.
Because I'm going to watch it, right, Clay? But one of them is going to benefit from it.
Right. Both of them going to benefit from it. They both going to get it back.
Benefit. Right. But I want to see the black fighter benefit off of it. Period. But let's get on out of here, Clay, man.
Yeah.
I need my people to do me a favor, man. Click the link. Take a moment. Click the link. Subscribe to my brother Claymore Rain link channel. The link is pinned up in the chat. Click the link and subscribe to my brother Claymore Rain. The link to his channel is pinned right there up in the chat. Click the link and subscribe to my brother Claymore Rain. The link to his channel is pinned in the chat. Tell him what time you'll be on for the rest of the week, Clay.
11 a.m. tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to be on yet because I got some errands to run. I got to get the oil change on my truck. I gotta run around and do it. I'm going to try my best to come on tomorrow 11 if I can get everything knocked out. But normally 11 a.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Definitely will be on 11 a.m. Thursday, worst case scenario. But yeah, we in the morning. We do the morning show thing.
Yes, sir. And I'm going to be back on schedule. So the latest, today was late for me because I've been out the office for a while, Clay. And they did some construction and some work. And Clay, they painted my door shut.
Oh, they would. They would. So you out here checking your key like, yo, is this it?
Yo, pull it. Like, me and my man, he works on the other side. And I'm like, bro, I think they painted the door. He's like, no. I'm like, yeah. Because they painted the whole wall and everything. We both, he had to take a screwdriver and cut the paint at the top. They literally painted my door shut. Maya, eat your piece of blessings, Queen.
Peace, Maya.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, Clay? So they had painted my door shut. So saying this to say, people, the latest me and Clay will be coming on will be 6 p.m. From here on out. Not trying to do any more late night shows unless it's just by myself or I got something to do on a Monday or a Friday. During the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, it will be no later than 6 p.m. 6:30 is pushing the envelope. So I want us to come on early. We can vibe with you guys early, kick it with you guys early, talk some boxing, be fresh. You know what I mean? That's another thing. 8, 9 o'clock, we ain't fresh no more. You know what I mean?
I'm getting old, bro. These grades ain't for looks, man.
Yeah, it's wisdom. You know what I'm saying?
It's the truth, and the wisdom is take my ass to bed by like
11.
Later, you know what I mean? I ain't nothing in the morning.
We be sitting here yawning and all types of nonsense. So 6 p.m., man, that's the latest time. Going back to the old time, that's the time me and Kurt was coming on Monday through Friday. I want to go back to that format, and I want to add some things, a call-in line, and a few other things to the show. So we will be making it happen, people. Yeah, Nick J, we two old fellas, man.
We are, man. I ain't scared to tell you, man. We were talking about that a little bit earlier, man. But
yeah, but it's good though. It's a good thing, you know what I'm saying?
Listen, wiser and definitely wiser and definitely. What's the other word I want to look for? Definitely blessed to be here. You heard?
Yeah. hey, Nick J, my wife took me out, took me to concert and everything. I was just telling Clay this. It was over like 11:30. She's like, so what you want to do? I'm like, go back to the room. Night is over. She's like, really? I said, night is over, man. I'm done. She's like, you want to get dinner? Because it's still early. We ain't get dinner. I'm like, nope.
Good.
Then I got to sit up and let the food digest and all that. Nope. I just want to get to these antics with you and go to bed.
That's it.
That's all.
That's it.
That's all. In the morning, we can start this show over.
Listen, what they say, get past the silliness of it all.
That's it.
We got past the silliness of it all. Found out that I don't need to be hanging around with you young whippersnappers at no damn 10:30 at night. No damn where. Y'all can have the streets. I pass it along. It's y'all's.
Bro, I look outside and I'm like, man, just to get dressed is a hassle. Nah, I'm good, bro.
You get tired of thinking you want to do it, and by the time you get there, realizing that you didn't, but going in anywhere because you feel like you got dressed and everything, and just, you know, like you were ready. If you could have started partying in the room right when you were getting dressed, it'd have been on. But by the time you finish getting dressed, getting dressed, you get to the car, you drive. By the time you pull up there, you like,
it's over.
Why I lie to myself?
I ain't got the energy.
I don't even want to be in here, bro.
I ain't got the energy. Going to the bathroom 1,000 times during the comedy show. I'm drinking at the comedy show, and let me go to the bathroom. Then my wife like, hold this, I gotta go to the bathroom. Hold this, I gotta go to the bathroom. Hold my drink. I'm done.
Yeah, bro. Why am I here, man?
Good for that, man. I'm good on that. But appreciate y'all coming through, starting up, holding us down, man. We will see y'all tomorrow. And click the link. Once again, I can't say it enough. Click that link. Subscribe to my brother Claymore Rain. Link to his channel is in the chat, pinned up. Click the link, subscribe to his channel. We will see y'all tomorrow.
Yeah.